And I am live. We are live. Flashpoint Ebontis. Wait, hold on. I should say Flashpoint YouTube Gaming's own.
Hey, now, don't start it with those intros. You're gonna make me blush over here.
I'm giving you a little bit of IOP flavor to it.
Oh no, no.
Making his return
Oh geez, here we go.
to the realm of the Ascended Challenge Master. My man, Lord Ebontis. How are we doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Doing pretty good. So yeah, I got some family coming in town today, so got a little house cleaning and stuff to do. Looking at next week's reset, going like, holy moly, there's a lot going on. And yeah, and just all thank you for everybody just for all the love out there recently. So channel kind of keeps going. YouTube felt like saying, hey, in a crazy way that I'm still insanely humbled and not sure how they chose me by. But overall, it's been a good week. How you doing, man?
Hanging in, man. Been pretty good. Been pretty good. I mean, it's been a rough sleep week, but other than that, man, it's been pretty good. Came back from the gym, had to find me a park spot. It was weird getting home, but had to run in. We got a lot to talk about. But as far as the week, man, it's been good, and hit my milestone.
Hey,
This week. So shout out to the 500. You know what I'm saying? But real
absolutely.
talk, very appreciative, and just trying to grow this thing, man. And it's good to see good people. Saying like myself, like Ebontis, sticking with it and being recognized. And that's as a content creator, that's all you want, right? That you just want people to respect the work. And when I seen that for you, man, I was like, man, my boys out there, they paid attention. They watched your video, they had your logo, they had the challenge. I was like, okay, Vontis is here, man. He's here. And it's good to see. So salute you, my Flashpoint brethren.
Well, thank you, sir, very much. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy, but
How are you adjusting to the limelight? Tell me, how does it feel?
God. No, that's not even the thing.
I know you get uncomfortable with this. That's why I like doing it.
I was like, I'm just been glad I've been getting more people that are finding videos, finding them, like helping them do the solo content. That's why I make the guides and the things that I do is to help and inform and guide you along the way as calm and collected as possible. So I'm never going to be the one of the big animated, like, wow, look at this stuff happen. Wow, that's just not me, and probably is not ever going to be me. Like in the moment of doing a Nightfall, I might have some weird little like quips that come out here and there, but I mean, and that's why I was like, I may not be the biggest, but I mean, I'm definitely humbled very much at what's happened. So thank you guys for all the recent support and just keep it going. But by the way, for all you guys, if you do watch this, go look at Iron Lord's podcast on YouTube. Go right over there and subscribe to their channel there. I want to see them double. Let's double their subscribers, guys. Let's get them a whole bunch. So
appreciate you, sir. It means a lot coming from you, man. Definitely.
Hey, I mean, come on. If you guys want a good, entertaining video gaming podcast with some awesome interviews, good people, I mean, you'll go on there and it's a long form podcast. You're going to get some of those interviews into deep dives. That's not like, hey, what do you think about this game? How was this development? Be like, what was your gaming history like? Were you playing Super Nintendo when you were little kid on the couch? Like, those are little things that make, especially someone more matured like me, when I go back and think about gaming, I was like, oh, hitting me right in the feels, talking about like, NES, like first system. It was like, that was me. So no, go check out the Iron Lords podcast, guys. It is good stuff. Gives you definitely something to, I mean, yeah, if you got a long commute or anything like that, take a couple days of your commute. It's a good one to definitely spend some time on. So, and those guys have, you it's genuine how much fun they have, because sometimes they're laughing their butts off and they can't control it. So they're having fun. And this is what we like to do. Have fun, have a good time. But yeah.
Yeah, man.
So are you daunted by I'm not even gonna say what Tuesday has yet, but is Tuesday just like holy, like too much? Like we're almost on overflow yet?
Yeah, because you know what it is? I'm surprised. We'll get into the 12. I'm definitely surprised how they combine things, right? So yeah, it was just like, okay, so we know, the Lost is coming, and I didn't think they would just like sneak banner on us like that. Like I was like, okay, so we'll get into it. But yeah, it's very much overwhelming. It's a lot, but in a good way. I mean, we asked for content. We asked for things to do. That was one of the main quips. And now to see this just boom, 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 is always something. And then, like you said, well, we got the third week of the throne or whatever. So Yeah, man, it's a ton. It is a ton to do. But again, if you're a Destiny fan, you live for this, but you're just sleep deprived. That's all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
I honestly, I'm not going to be able to fit everything in.
Yeah. So it's like you got to prioritize now, right? You got to kind of like, which way you gonna go, So what are you leaning towards prioritizing?
Well, it depends on if I can. I've got family in town, so there's no way that I can probably burn through my hunter fast enough to really make that grind as like viable.
Mhm.
So I think that one's gonna have to wait a week.
Okay.
My Titan and Warlock are both cracked 580, so I'm getting up there.
All right.
Um, so I mean, Shattered Throne's an important one because for one, I haven't done it. Two, I want to see if that solo is viable or if I really mostly just need to be 600.
Got you.
Um,
What,
but I
what
mean,
level?
last time I went in there, I was so much lower, so much
Mhm.
lower.
What level esoteric went is he went in there, right? Solo.
Oh, he's 6. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
been
he's six
he's
already.
6. Yeah.
Hmm.
Saw him do 100,000 nightfall. I'm like, yeah, when I'm 600, I can drop my level 40, like 60 points. Then I'll consider a 60 pointer. But yeah, or 100,000. But
Hmm.
that'll come later. But yeah, shout out to also beast mode. So
No
uh,
doubt.
yeah, so I was like, I'm torn because I know Iron Banner's there. The grinds are a little bit slower, which we'll get to. Not slower, actually, quicker. They're a little
Mhm.
less in length, and then so that's some powerful gear like to fill gaps and stuff, which is nice. But I think for me, I've got to go like Shattered Throne, Festival of Lost, and Iron Banner maybe last. Honestly, like Shattered Throne,
Mm.
and because mostly because depending on how the forest is set up, and we'll get to that in a little bit, will be if you need a group or solo it or whatever. And I'm sure you can run it both ways in how important it is to get a certain like distance into that thing, apparently. Is if I'm going to need to run it on like Tuesday with my couple friends that I know I do, or if I can solo that stuff later. So just going to kind of
Gotcha.
have to see where the solo and the team priorities kind of fall.
I hear you. I think my order might be the opposite for you. I'm such on a grind with Crucible because the only thing I've been consistently playing is quick play of a lot of Valor Crucible. I'm doing so good on my Retrix grain. I'm grinding. I'm like maybe 2 steps from the end. Now I got to get a certain amount of precision kills with pulses, and I got like one of these God roll pulses right now. I got almost like a God roll, go figure, and I got a bygones which I haven't used, but
I still haven't got bygones. That one's killing me.
yo, bygones are
And
so
I know I
good.
get the infamy reset, like you seem to get the god roll. So I mean,
Yeah,
still
he has a God roll on the
yep,
infamy reset. It's
yeah. So that's the
ridiculous.
one I'm waiting for.
Yeah, he's got it. Now, question. I had a question for you. Is that
Mhm.
you know how long that lasts?
What?
That just set in his inventory? Is it like a rotating inventory per reset? Like, is that God roll bygones that the drifter has?
Hmm.
Does that ever change?
That's a good question. I don't know. I was thinking of the reset when you actually reset your infamy. Everyone seems to get like the god roll bygones. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, so that's what
No,
I'm
or
thinking.
the bad omens, or maybe bad omens.
Because
I've
in
heard
his
both.
yeah,
Like,
in his inventory, it's currently sitting there. So I want to know if that changes. Because I'm like, do I have to rush to get
no,
the
I mean, I
infamy
think
reset?
his has been there since start mostly. I don't think
Oh,
his
okay.
is going to be going on like weekly rotation or anything like that. I'm
Gotcha.
trying to pull it up
Gotcha.
right
Okay.
now.
Got it.
Yeah, so
Got
you
it.
got to
Got
reach infamy with rank 12, kill clip, full auto,
it.
stability.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so
Beautiful.
yeah, but I've seen some damn good bygones. There was somebody I saw that was like, "Oh, I want it. I want it."
Yeah. I've been getting shot in the crucible by it. A lot. That and Luna's Howl. Good Lord. Oh my Lord. Luna's
Did
Howl is
you
out
get it?
here in these streets. You better be safe, man. It's not safe out here. Gotta be
I was gonna say,
careful.
did you get Luna's How? That's my
Oh,
question.
I'm not even thinking about that question right now. Like, to be honest, like I was just like, I just competitive is not in a place mode wise where I like. So yeah, I'm like, I don't have that incentive. Then I got to run around with hand cannons for that length of time. Like, I'm more of a pulse guy right now. I mean, the pulse meta is really strong to me, even though Luna Howl is like showing to be the dominant weapon. But hey, those guys got they did the grind. God salute them. God bless them. I want my Redrix. I'm still in my like D2
Hey,
vanilla
yeah,
hangover. I
you're
never
good.
I never finished it. And I want that Redrix. That's the gun I want so bad. And I'm a pulse guy. And they said, shout out to Cross. It's good in PvE. And that's what I want to see. I want to really put it through its paces and see what type of role I get. and it's all about Regix right now. I'm on step 5 of 7, and I've already got like 2 or 3 prestiges already.
Oh,
I've been playing, bro.
No, I know. I was like, I have not. So yeah.
Yeah, and last thing, you know why Banner's gonna be my priority most likely is because you know
Valor.
what? Valor, double X Valor.
I mean, that's Crucible all weekend, but yeah, Iron Band will give you extra incentive for some powerful pops. What level are you now, by the way? I haven't even asked.
What my what you call it? My Valor?
No, power level.
Oh, power level. Oh, I think
like 600 already?
Nah. It's been a slow creep for me. I think I'm still low. I'm like maybe 575, close to 580.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm low, man.
I mean, that's about where I'm at. I mean, it's not low. I hit like 583, something like that. So no, I have 580. Yeah.
Shout out to Sinners in them chat. All them dudes are 600. They run around 600 and they sleep.
Yeah.
So what we got?
Like making videos and making content. We got to work. They just playing.
Exactly. They're now working all these hours and doing all these podcasts and videos. It's all good. Salute to the team, man. Salute to the class. So what we got, man? What we got going on in the world of Bungie?
So Bungie feels like throwing the world at us this week, so we're going to have to try and jump into that. First, we got Festival of the Lost. Now, for those of you guys that haven't been around, this is basically their Halloween event, but they of course put it themed into the world of Destiny, which is cool. It's not just hey Halloween, slap like a pumpkin in the tower or something like that. They actually have they actually have some lore behind it and stuff like that, which is always cool. That's one of those things that like maybe it may have been an underwhelming event for some of this stuff, but they tend to put. They're going to be like, you know, normal holidays, normal themes, stuff like that. They put a Destiny spin. They spend a little extra time and they put a Destiny spin to make these things actually fit into the world of Destiny, which is cool. So shout out to those guys. But Festival Lost is for Guardians. Death is usually a temporary condition, no more dangerous than the splinter on a forgotten just as quickly. Even after Eva Levante first brought the city's traditions to the tower with Festival Lost, it was less a time for remembrance and more of a time of irreverent celebration. Last year has changed everything. The Red Legion razed the city. Countless Guardians were lost. Despite victories on Mercury and Mars, morale in the tower is low. After the fall of a legend, Cade 6. This year, death has not passed us by. It has come to stay. So, little somber there.
A little somber.
It's been an interesting year. So, we have Forsaken now, which has been amazing for all of us. Those of you guys who powered through the world of Destiny to year 1 kind of feel like we've kind of broken out of our shell and now we actually got a full-size game to play, which is fun. But we got a lot to do. So Festival Lost usually always has like masks and they decorate up the tower and there's some cool stuff involved. But they add a little bit more to this one, which if you saw my tweet, I'm like, I want to see if they actually follow through with this one. So first off, the event is going to be run by Amanda Holiday. She's going to be the one holding it down.
She's going to get used. That's great.
Yeah, so she's just been holding down those green and blue sparrows and ships for you for a while. So
you know,
she's been watching out for the kindergartens basics. And
clearly,
she's finally got a home. So
God.
It's kind of like there's no one has heard from Eva Levante since the City Bell. Right? Amanda Holiday has stepped in to help raise everyone's spirits. So what do you think? Like Eva's not coming back. I mean, I know we got Eververse, so she's kind of in a different spot. Do you think this is fitting for Amanda? Do you think it's like just kind of weird?
A little weird that she's doing it. I'll be honest. You know, I was hoping that we'd get more clarity with, you know, the Levante situation, Eva Levante. So, you know, but are they confirmed? Let me ask you a question. Have they confirmed she's dead? I thought she was confirmed just missing.
No, I mean, they just said no one's heard from her. So yeah they've confirmed other deaths, but yeah, she stepped out. She's
all right. So she stepped out. We got to find her, whatever kind of deal. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just want to see, you know, how I like Amanda as a character. I just want to see how it kind of works. I never really associated her with, you know, she's like, hey, Guardian, you know, she's like ships and flying and mechanic and like, you know what I mean? Like, yep. I don't get her as the let's do something great for the city thing.
And she's covered in grease, not decorating things.
Yeah, exactly. She's the grease one. perfect analogy. So I'm like, all right, look, but at the end of the day, they needed to do something with her. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
let this slide. She's completely useless for any OG. And even as a kindergarten, I wasn't running that to was you running her? I would
What?
run her for a chaperone quest. That's it.
Oh, that's about the only time I've used her. I think I did when what was it on Mars when you got all the things and you go to her and you get your sparrow. You get
Yes.
that one from her, but yeah, it's like minimal stuff. And honestly, like you want to give her a little purpose, like somebody do a side project for a day, you figure out how to put it in so I can re-roll my damn sparrow rolls.
Yes.
Let me have my instant loading, or let me, pay a little extra. Let me grind on a quest so I
Hmm.
can have the fast loading and maybe reload my guns, or the fast loading and maybe less time. Just let me work
Yep.
on some, just let me add a little extra. Let me get that little like bonus to my sparrow. Cause
Hmm.
yeah, you get an exotic and it's got the wrong roll, and well, be like, welp, you're toast. Even though one of my buddies actually did say, I think he got the Dreaming City
Hmm.
Sparrow, which is actually pretty cool looking.
Hmm.
Um, but he didn't get a good roll on it. But I was like, can you just pull it out of your collection now and see if you can get a different roll? And I think you can. So in it, I think you could actually pay to get one out of there now, which is good. But so maybe less of a benefit now. But generally, yeah, she needs something to do.
Yeah, and I think it's exasperated by the fact that we have since Destiny 2's launch, we also have not had Sparrow Racing.
Mhm.
So remember, always had a big role with that. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
it really just made her, very not used. So it just shows to be like the Sparrow Racing may not still be coming anytime soon. So thought that was interesting because usually with her, remember, we go in there, we get her helmets, we get her stuff, you get your little bounties from her, you're doing all that stuff. So
Yeah, so it's good to see she's getting some love, and the
mhm,
tower is obviously going to get a makeover. As you guys can see, we've got a little bit here with tower decor. So
mhm,
we've got the little candles they're bringing back. Those little purple ones are going to be everywhere.
mhm.
We've got the little hanging ingram lanterns and stuff like that. So
But
quite a
whose
bit out
face is
there.
that in the back under the tree? Who is that?
So that's weird because, well, we know one person they mention as a face here, but this doesn't quite look right. Who is that?
Oh, I know who he is. Yeah, that's our guy right there. That is one of my most hated NPCs in Destiny history. That is Master Ives or Eves, whatever. I can't pronounce it.
Oh,
All I
well,
know,
see, this picture's got hair on it. Master Ives was bald.
he's bald. The one I'm talking about, the picture that I saw, they had a
Yeah, so I guess I'll
bald
have that on
guy.
a different one. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
don't know what's actually in the middle. That's
yeah, I
weird.
don't know that one. I'm talking about the bald guy. The bald guy is definitely Eves, and I couldn't stand him. So I can't wait to find out the situation and thank the person who put this man down.
Why do you hate this
Oh,
man
I
so much?
despise him. Listen, I do actually go back to one of our old ILPs when we just only doing Destiny content, and we did a segment. It was called. I want to do it with you at some point. We did a segment called "Favorite and Worst NPCs," your favorite NPCs and your most hated NPCs. And I had everyone laugh. They were like, "Why do you hate him so much?" I said, "Listen, when you go to the reef, you had Varix back in the D1, right? You had Varix, you
Yeah.
had Petra, you had Brother Vance when he was cool before he became like Osiris's favorite thought. Like, he just all maniacal for Osiris. Like, he was a real cool biblical dude. You go to get your trials of the Osiris gear. It was cool. Then you walk past Master Ives. And I vaguely remember, actually, not vaguely, I definitely remember when you used to have house banners or anything you had to exchange with this guy. For whatever reason, it would never equate to the same amount given back that what Rahul would give you. And I'm like, am I bugging out here? Like, I would speak to people, I'm like, how come when I go to the Reef Crypto, like I'm not getting all the credit for my house banners and all the stuff that I'm turning in? And they were like, yeah, it might be a glitch or something. So I just attributed it to the character. I didn't like the character.
He's
We
just
stayed
cheap.
it was cheap. Then it was like on top he's very arrogant. Like I'm the best Chris talking to this, and so I am so glad someone put him down.
That's
I would have,
mean, man. That's
yeah,
mean.
I want to thank the animal or the guardian, whoever did it. Thank you for ridding the bane of my existence. That's I would not shed a tear for this man. That it's funny. I tell you, I'll
For
let
the
y'all
rest
hear
of you here at Master Ives' funeral, ignore this guy over here on the other side. He is a unkind man and
Yes.
not an honored guardian. He has now
Yes.
dishonored himself.
Yes. I'm very dishonorable. I
No,
hate
but
it.
seriously, like, I mean, it's so funny though, because I saw people in Twitter on the other complete flip side of this going like, "Oh, how are you going to take my master?" I was like, that's why you saying this is just like blowing me away because I don't remember him vividly one way or another, just
Because you
because.
didn't go to him. See, I lived in the reef. I used to play trials
Yeah,
all
see,
the
I didn't know
time.
trials that much. That's why.
Yeah, so for me, I'm like, yo, what? Shout out to Sin in the chat. He said, yeah, his Glimmer exchange was a ripoff. Yeah, so the people who go to the reef knew something was up with that guy. That guy is a shyster. I'm telling you, man. It was always the exchange was a little. See, Rahul, he would give you the right exchange. He have snarky comment, but he give you the right exchange. This guy, oh man, I knew it was something wrong. Something was going on. But yeah, shout out to Sinister in the chat, man. He completely agrees with me. He remembers.
Well, hey, somebody took care of him, so that will be part of this. But
Mhm.
got a couple different activities with Festival of Lost, which will be cool. And I honestly am really intrigued by one of these the
Mhm.
most. We'll get to in a second, just
Mhm.
because we're kind of scrolling through. So we'll have new triumphs, which will be good. So a little more stuff to earn to add to our little triumph score. Some people, when Bungie sent out that, hey, what's your triumph score right now? And they're like 50,000. I'm like, I'm just sitting down here with like 25. I'm just sitting here like John Travolta with that little like looking around.
You're looking
So
around.
be like, I am apparently slacking. So some people
Mhm.
are playing like crazy.
Yeah.
So we got more triumphs. She'll have daily bounties that award fragmented souls. These items can be used to purchase Festival of Lost Mask, as well as the Horror Story Legendary Auto Rifle.
Mm,
So we actually got an auto rifle coming from one of these events, an event-specific gun. How long have we
nice.
been asking for that?
Long time.
Seriously,
Long
like
time.
whether
Mhm.
it's a Crimson Doubles, whether it's, and that would have been the time to bring the Crimson in, by the way.
Yes. Good point.
But I mean, the fact that we actually have one gun, we're gonna have your set of armor. That's probably there.
Mhm.
Um, and the mask, we actually have an auto rifle from an event. I kind of like
Mhm.
this. Whether
Yeah,
it's
that's
good,
pretty
bad, or
cool.
otherwise, I just like that it's an option.
Yes, definitely like gear, something associated with an event, like unique gear, so you remember. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So no idea if it's going to be good or bad. I'm sure tomorrow Houndish is going to have some data mined version of it. That
Shout
man
out to
is
English.
always like digging deep into Bungie's servers or
Oh
something.
yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah. This is what I'm waiting for right here.
All
Fear
right.
and Fright.
Mm,
This year,
mm.
Festival of Lost brings more than just masks because that's usually what kind of Festival of Lost has been, and that's
Yeah.
why it's one of those
Man.
things that hasn't really set that well because it hasn't been a major deal.
Hmm.
So they finally are doing something with a very, very unutilized space, personally. For a limited time, all players of Destiny 2 are invited to the Haunted Forest. And when they said forest, the first time I heard that anywhere, I was like, please tell me they're going to the Infinite Forest. And they are. Guardians who have been tasked with clearing out its ghouls and demons, which are spooked up by a storm. You'll have 15 minutes to dive as deep as you can into the Haunted Forest and clear out the nightmares lying in wait. Be wary. The deeper you go, the more difficult your job will become.
Mm.
Honestly, I've been waiting. This is what they should literally have the Infinite Forest be all the
The
time.
time.
Why is it
Facts.
not just part of you? Mercury would not suck nearly as much as its little
Hmm.
ring of idiocy.
Hmm.
Sorry, Bungie, if you're listening to this, because I know you guys still made content. Don't mean to slap it that hard, but the
Hey,
Infinite
call
Force
it
is
how we
just
gotta
very
call it.
yeah, just it's underutilized. Like it's in a
Absolutely.
couple adventures, it's in a couple strikes, and this is finally a reason to go in there and just run deep in there. Now they say you do not have to have any expansion for this. You'll literally be able to load into the Infinite Forest separately. So you're not
Mm.
going to have Mercury's expansion.
Gotcha.
So that's a good thing. And
Hmm.
then the other piece behind it is just the fact that this is how far can you go? This is like how far can you push into a horde mode in 15 minutes?
Yes.
And I
Yes.
love that.
Very
Absolutely
cool.
love that. That's
Very
going to be
cool.
cool. So I like
Very
the
cool.
lighting effects on it. Kind of has that darker tone.
Hmm.
I wonder if things are going to like creep up next to you and be like, "Hey, there's a night. Holy crap!" Like
Yeah,
if
I'm
there's going
curious
to be
about the
stuff that
lore
just jumps on
behind
you.
this haunted forest. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very curious, like lore wise, because this is clearly the Infinite Forest. So I want to know if, like, this is me as an Osiris fanboy. Uh, like, will there be any lore mention of why? You know what I'm saying? Like, was because this is technically his realm. This is where Osiris is. Like,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm very curious, like lore wise, what they say about that. So yeah, I mean, listen, it's an asset that was underutilized. You know, it was a cool asset in theory. It just wasn't used, I felt, enough, or you know, it can even be enhanced even to be better. And this sounds cool, going deeper, more challenging bosses, more things. This sounds cool. So I'm with it. I'm very curious about it. And like I said, they've never really done anything, like you said, outside of masks for Festival of Lost. So now we have this a little mystery, a couple things going on. It actually sounds pretty cool now, like a worthy event.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is probably one of those things like Festival Lost is going to go away and everybody's going to be like, hey, you got any more of that haunted forest out there? Like, see, I'm guessing if it's done well or if it's just a fun activity to do, that they
Hmm.
actually try and bring this thing back. So
Hmm.
that honestly, that's probably has me the most intrigued besides the last week quest, of course. But I think this will
Yes.
be cool to go in with a fire team, push through as much as you can. I don't know if they probably won't slap scoring on this thing, but I'm sure there's like certain like landmarks and stuff that you're gonna have to get to, and like Esoteric's gonna find the end of the map all on his own. Um, all those things.
So,
So
quick question for my chat.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uncle, he's shout out to Uncle, he's new. He says, so who is everyone's favorite character? Mine is Shaq. So pretty much, I was gonna ask you this because when we did that segment on our old ILP, like
Yeah.
favorite NPCs and hated. So you already know who my hated. I'm always curious, like give me two of your favorite NPCs and two of your hated NPCs.
Oh,
Real quick. One time.
I'm probably not even gonna remember all the right names from D1.
Generalization where they stood at if they don't remember the name.
Like one
Favorite.
of the ones I did like, and especially is probably mostly because of the Rise of Iron expansion, was Saladin.
Yeah,
Actually,
sounds cool. Sounds
Saladin was
cool.
cool. He was just like, dude, I'm a beast. I got my big old hammer. I'll swing it. Or his axe or hammer, whatever it was. But I was like, he's just a monster, man. And it was like, and
Yes,
he
sir.
was one of the original as well.
Hmm.
Shax has always been Shax, I feel like I don't know if he's top because I
Hmm.
mean, for me, Cade was always up there, but obviously
Yeah,
he's stepped down now.
obviously.
Um, Shax in Crucible is sometimes just crazy. Like, this is
I l-
amazing. Just
love him.
those little comments alone, seriously, just like
Mhm.
there's no way you can't enjoy him. Um, Part of me
Absolutely.
has a weird soft spot for Eris just because she is
Mm.
the oddball out in all this stuff. She's like the
Yeah.
oddball. She's always sitting under the stairs. She's like the Harry Potter like apartment under the stairs type thing. So she didn't never get a great place to land.
Mhm.
Ones that I hated, me, Rahul pissed me off for a long time. So it's kind of because I didn't spend as much time with Ives ticking you guys off. Rahul. Oh, yeah. Somebody said it the other day. It's like, screw Rahul. Oh, here's an exotic. No, it's a green. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the stuff that I remember from him. So yeah, I had little love. And the speaker, yeah, he was just useless. Yeah, I got a
Salute.
sinister right there. Yeah. Speaker.
Yes.
I was like, granted, he had one of the absolute best lines in the Destiny 1 campaign I've ever seen anybody throw. Whole
Which
bunch of
one?
shade at Gaul when he's like, why don't you just go die?
Oh
Speaker,
yeah,
the
yeah. That
speaker
was
laid it
funny.
down. So I mean, I had
That
to
was
give him a
funny.
little bit of props for that one.
Yeah,
But
he
I was
went
like,
out.
he was mostly just kind of he had no purpose. So he was
Mhm.
just over there. If you had to go over there, you're like, oh, I gotta go to that far in the tower. Uh, but yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, I think
So yeah, a little bit either way, but it
I'm
just
with
kind of
you.
depends on what I was working on really half the time. So
Yeah. For me now, I would say, Osiris is always gonna be number one, but that's just facts. They just got to redo his story correctly. But let me see. Surprise! You know who I absolutely like burst into laugh. Shax is on every should be
oh,
on this, but
Lycan's
my
got one in
man
my chat, but yeah,
is
go ahead.
Asher Mir. Asher Mir is
Oh,
funniest, most bitter NPC. I enjoy it. Impossible.
like
Cabal
I'm totally
again.
forgetting. Oh no, it's like honestly, like I'm totally blanking on one. I was just thinking more tower.
Yeah.
Failsafe. Dude,
Oh, Fels
failsafe
is
blew me
awesome.
away. And
Yeah.
the fact that you can actually tweak her into the raid now is like I've got to hear that at some point.
Yeah. Fail saves awful. Definitely, like I said, got a shout out. Asher's just hilarious. He hates everything and everyone.
Oh, he's like, do you think Zavala would actually think about this, or would he just go in there and swing his sword and blow up the entire universe? Of course he would.
Boo boo
Like
bala.
he's liking in my chat over here. Asher Mir's a dude.
But he's lovable. He's lovable. Like you can't. You have to admit when you do any pyramidion strikes. Oh my god, those are hilarious. I want you to go in there and rip its arm off, and then Yeah, I can listen to Ashmere all day. He's just the bitterest NPC in the entire Destiny. So yeah, for me it's him, Shax. Gotta love Shax. Cyrus is a giving because I'm an Osiris fanboy. And I've come to I've changed my tune on executive at Hideo. I've changed my
Oh
tune on
yeah.
them. Yeah, because their shaders are so nice, and I
You're
like
all about
this.
those cosmetics. You're like, I don't care if you have quality gear or morals or anything. Just do
I
you
get
look
the
pretty?
morals. You got the good gear. You got the nice side of the tower with the
Honestly,
plush.
like Lycan's got one that for me, not as much hated, but I gotta shout him out too. For one that I could kind of care less about. Shiro. He was like an
Yeah.
impersonation of Cade. It always rubbed me wrong. I was like, dude, no, like, you don't fit right.
Shout out to Jeff Romacha. He said Cade 6 and FWC. Oh, you like
Lakshmi,
Lakshmi.
Lakshmi, yeah.
Lakshmi. Love her voice actor. Hated Dead Orb. But yeah, I don't like the emo kid. What's his face? From
Yeah,
Dead Orb.
the voice that I know who the actor is
The
for
actor's awesome.
Dead Orbit. Yeah, he's cool. He's always in a lot of like almost Russian villain roles or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
he's been in a lot of good stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, man, absolutely. He said that anyone get chills when our character spoke for the first time before.
Yeah. My
Absolutely.
guardian, one of the most hated non-speaking people, because the ghost is like, and even I look like this is one of those points where Bungie's like, I don't know if they have decided not to. They have a few lines. They have 8 words. They finally got a
Mhm.
couple, but it's just like, oh, still always the silent type or whatever. And I'm just like,
Yes.
come on.
Come on. Yeah, I know. Listen, it was a monumental step for them to even throw that back in. We'll see how much they advance on our character speaking again. But I
And
was
they've got
actually
to keep pushing that
yeah,
forward.
they gotta push it. I was surprised that they even did it, to be honest. So I'm like, wow, they really are listening because I didn't think they would ever revert back to that. So shout out to that. But yeah, you got some interesting ones. You got some good ones. I like your
Yeah.
choices.
Yeah. So, oh, sorry. Tangent aside, we're back to the Festival of the Lost. But yeah, I mean, yeah, they've always got some good characters in there. They've had some have had some long history, so it's been kind of cool.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, Infinite Forest into the Haunted Forest, like kind of a horde event, 15-minute run. Probably go back to the tower and do it over and over again. See how you do. I'm hoping it's just going to be a really cool thing. So
Yeah.
crossing my fingers on that one. I mean, this picture right here, just the way the lighting looks on it, you've got this. That night looks to be one of the bigger ones that you don't really want to tick off.
Mhm.
I can't tell if that's a
Yes.
normal night or one of like the big nights that you see in like the Ascendant challenges. We'll just have to
Yeah.
see.
That
Um,
almost looks escalation protocol level night.
yeah, those big boys. Yep, that's
Those
the
look
ones.
like that look like a big boy down there. So yeah, it's gonna be. It looks like the challenges are really gonna ramp up the deeper you get, and yeah, I'm excited. A new little mode, a new little activity. I didn't expect any of this for Festival of Lost, to be honest.
So as I said, you can jump into the dark as a solo player with a pre-made fire team, or through matchmaking to join other guardians in the fight. I like how they give all the options.
Nice.
You can go the fire team solo.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is actually one of those things I'm curious about, and this is one thing they really, really should do.
Go for it.
How are you going to jump in with matchmaking or solo? How's it going to pick? Because they have never actually had either matchmaking or solo. Because either you do a nightfall and you have to have people with you,
Yes,
or you
that's a
do a
good
match made
point.
activity and you go for it.
That's a good point. I didn't. Yeah,
How
how
are
are they
you
gonna?
actually going to be able to pick to run by yourself?
Yes, that's a good point.
Because
Unless
if they have a solo queue for this, give me a solo queue
I,
for
yeah, I was just about to
Gambit.
say. Yep, give
Give
me a
me a
solo queue
solo
for
queue for
Crucible.
Crucible.
Yes, Iron Banner. You know what I mean? Like
Oh my God, Iron Banner needs it more than Quick Play.
more than Crucible now. Yeah, Iron Banner definitely needs it now. So no, I'm with you, and that's a good catch, E, because that's the first time I've ever seen Destiny advertise an activity and say you have the option to join as a solo player. So wow, interesting.
Yeah, so that was one of those little pieces I noticed. I'm like, I want to know how they do that because if they have the like a switch for just say Infinite Forest or
Mhm.
sorry, Haunted Forest, solo Haunted Forest, I'm gonna be like,
Mhm.
whoa, whoa, whoa. All right,
Mhm.
let's see this in a couple other places, and then I'll be a happy man. If you
Mhm.
guys are joining into chat, thank you guys for coming in. Long point,
On
always,
point.
never short.
Come on, you get two Destiny fanatics like us together. Things are gonna happen.
So
conversations
this is the
with
picture
birds.
you're thinking of right here. This is the one with Ives. This is the one, and
Yes.
this is the one that looks like it's in front of the tree. So that's why the graphic above seems like an odd
Yes.
picture with hair, because he is straight up bald.
That's the ball guy. That's the guy. That's the
Yep,
bane of
that's
my
Ives.
existence.
So
Yes. 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 Pay my respects. And thank the killer.
I'm gonna pay your respects, like, and under your breath, be like, thank you.
Yes. No more
Thank you
shiesty
for
good
moving
talks.
on. So most players of Forsaken have already won Justice for Cade 6, but near the conclusion of Festival of the Lost, they'll be called once again to avenge a fallen friend, for some, apparently. Master Ives has been struck down. Maybe someone wanted to settle an old score. Maybe it was Cognito who jumped into the servers, or lost their temper when receiving an edge transit. See, this is one of those points, honestly, because I've actually had some comments lately that have been like, so many edge transits, and I'm just like, yeah, because I think in my video, like, I must have opened my inventory and been like, oh, just quickly looking at something. There was like 5 or 6 in my heavy slot.
Mhm.
Like,
It's
what is up with all
ridiculous.
those? And I'm like, just 2 minutes. I have 30. I just need to pare them down to like get rid of
Wow.
duplicates. So
Wow.
it's been kind of a joke at this point to be like, how many can I actually accumulate?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Thank God they're supposed to be addressing that with that patch. But
Yep.
the heavies jumping in that slot, the new heavies.
Absolutely. Yeah, we need a few more options just in general.
Mhm.
So whatever
Oh,
provoked.
Quick sidebar.
Yeah.
The real, even though I'm joking with Master Eves and stuff, the real thing from what I understand is that the voice actor that played him, the voice actor that played him is the voice actor that currently plays Devon K.
Right. I have heard that. So.
Yeah, so it's literally the same inflection, the same voice. So that's why. So pretty much, Devon is not going anywhere right now. He's pretty much liked. And yeah, I think that's another reason why we're seeing this kind of stuff as well, as far as that character as well.
Just a little lower way to kill off a character and preserve a voice actor from doing 2 things. So
exactly. Yep. Continue.
So whatever provoked the wrongdoing, justice must be served. The pursuit of Master Ives' killers, by the way, so that's a plural. I actually didn't catch that the first read. Will take place through a quest line, which adds an additional powerful reward. So another thing to do. The hunt begins on Tuesday the 30th. Now, Festival of the Lost is going to be 3 weeks long. Starts on the 16th. Goes through, what is it, November 2nd? Or
yes.
No, November 6th.
November 6th.
Yep. So it actually goes for 3 weeks. I actually like that we've got 3 full weeks. So you're out of town, you miss something,
correct.
You got plenty of time to play this event and get hopefully most of the stuff you're going for.
Exactly. Don't want to hear that excuse. Oh, I didn't have time. It was this week. It's 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
You ain't playing Destiny.
This is why like Shattered Throne is going to be a priority for me. Then I don't know. I got to jump in and see what this whole like haunted thing's about, because that's something I've been waiting on for a while.
Yeah, Shattered. I just thought about it though. Shattered Throne might be a thing for me too, because did you see Tess Everett's latest package that she's selling
with the bow ornament?
Yo, that ornament for Wishender. I was like, okay.
I thought that's what the Wishender looked like already.
That's what I thought. No, it's actually like just plain like white or gray or whatever it is. When I saw that queen, that
purple sheen or purple fuchsia sheen,
I was like, okay, I might be incentivized now to get that done. That's nice. But anyway, continue.
Nope, you're good. So Festival of course, will have its cosmetic rewards as well. It's going to be a ephemeral engram. So those are going to work alongside with your steadfast engram. So you're going to get double, which is always cool. And then you may also purchase the engrams in case you want to just blow through some money and get some extra ones. Yeah. One thing they did say, and I think I've heard it out there on Twitter, I do believe this is going to work as a checklist. So if you're going through working on anything specific and you play this a decent amount, you will be able to whittle things off of that list so you don't get duplicates. Okay. Now, I could be making that up, but I'm pretty sure I saw it on Twitter or somebody out there did finally post that. So I think it is going to be, checklist, knock that stuff off. So, if I get the ship on the left, which looks crazy awesome, by the way.
Yes.
If I get that one, then I'm not going to get a duplicate of that until I have hopefully everything else. So ship on the left, and got to get the cat ghost.
Cat eye. You with the cat eyes?
I'm not even a cat person. It's just I like how literally they like taped the ears on there, so it looks like a paper mask. So those are always cool. Somebody said about this one, I forget who it was on Twitter, and was like, "Am I looking at a Gundam in the middle? What is going on with the big white sparrow that looks kind of?" I know it's a sparrow.
Yeah, I was like, "What is that?"
It looks like almost like like a Gundam like being raised up like to about to be
Mm-hmm.
like stepping out on the world. So yeah, they definitely put some nice art into these. I like like this one over here. I don't know why. For me, like somebody's like, please let that be Siva, not just veins. Please let that be Siva, not just veins.
That's a good point. I didn't think about even Siva.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
was like, it
point.
doesn't quite look Siva like though. It does actually look
Yeah.
veiny and not quite
Mm-hmm.
technological. So, but for me, this one looks 10 times cooler than this one. This one
Mm-hmm.
has like purple stuff on it, and this
Mm-hmm.
one, I don't know why it just looks cooler. And maybe it's just because I like the shape of the ship more. Because
Mm-hmm.
this looks like the fighter jet, and this just looks like a flying box. But
Instead of
maybe
flying,
that's just me.
yo, you went in on that.
Some
Flying
ships look
box.
cooler than others. I just got this week actually in my weekly reset. I had 3 of the
Which one you got?
what are they the prismatic facets,
Yes.
and I go to open the prismatic matrix, and there's 4 things I don't have:
Mm-hmm.
the exotic catch ship, the
Mm-hmm.
chaperone ornament, and 2 other pieces. So I was like, all right, well, I'll spend 2 of them in here and see what I get. Exotic. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm done. So I
That's it
checked
for
my
this
2
week.
boxes off. So yeah, I was like 2 for 2. I was like, I'm out.
Nice.
So
Nice.
the catch is cool. It definitely looks funny. But these are some of the ones just because they stand out the most
Yeah,
are some of the ones I want. And
absolutely.
this is also the point where I wish you could re-roll ghosts as well.
Yeah.
It's like I might get one of these, but I will never use it if its rolls suck.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how it goes, but you'll be able to earn double engrams, which is cool. You'll be able to buy some if you really just don't have that much time to play. And we also have some emotes.
Yes.
So somebody on a guitar solo just absolutely killing it. But over here, just crazy dance man, just absolutely. I
Oh, he
love
getting
some
it
of these
in.
dances because they get into it so much
Yeah, they go
longer.
so hard.
Yeah, it was like the
So
Michael
long.
Jackson dance like 2 years ago. They're like the longest emotes ever, and I love it.
I love it. And they on
They-
repeat, so you can leave the character. You be
Yep,
going
just
in
go
there.
forever, just dancing like
Mhm.
crazy. Yeah, I want to be there when they motion cap one of these things. Really
But
want to just watch some of that stuff.
a lot of it, which I found out on on a podcast with we had a shout out to Rick Hogue from Hogue Law. A lot of these things, man, are just copied animation wise. You know what I'm saying? Like, from certain artists and stuff like that, from pop culture and stuff like that. But it's funny. It's funny. I think it's interesting how they're able to get away with it. We discussed that, and it's definitely that's something that's growing because there's a market. Because we all buy this stuff. Every time I go to the tower, there's people doing these dances with their guardians.
Oh, well, have you been out in the world and see people doing the floss from Fortnite, which is just, oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
Hmm.
that's most of what we have for festival. I think that pretty well covers it.
Hmm.
So let's jump over to the TWAB, which starts with that.
Hmm.
So this week at Bungie, right here, Festival Lost, October 16th to November 6th. You got masks. So of course Aldrin's going to be in there. I love how
Yeah,
they have a chicken mask. The Colonel.
the Colonel.
Colonel is in the house.
The Colonel.
What is the middle one, by the way? Who is this like steampunky dude?
Yeah, I don't. It looks just like I'm trying to figure that out. That's a good question. Like, hmm,
I don't know if
what?
it's anyone or if it's just kind of a steampunk look, but it's a weird
Yeah,
one. So,
it's a weird one. I don't know
I
what
also
that
wonder
is.
if like the mask may be one thing, which may be
Mhm.
like kind of robotic,
Yeah,
but I think this is actually probably the hunter cape because
yeah,
that
yeah. It's a hunter cape.
yeah, it's a hunter cape, but I didn't even notice that at first, but actually has a
So,
very
but
cool like old school witch wizard
you know
look
what I'm
to it.
thinking? What about that whole quest with the whole thing with Drifter and Shad? What is it? Shin Malfer and all these guys. Was it the one? Was the one that got killed? I'm not. My lore is off right now, so I'm asking like that whole story between the last word and the thorn, right? And the guy that killed the thorn guy, which was in that because they have a whole thing on this in the lore. And if you go into the ascendant plane, you'll see his outline of his body. I just want to confirm, and maybe in your chat might know if that guy that got killed was he a hunter, and maybe because remember this is honoring dead guardians. We know
Yeah.
Aldrin bit the bucket. Said I don't know why the colonel was up there, but whatever. Thought the colonel was still in the tower, but whatever.
Down
Yeah,
the
I'm curious about because they
Judgment
got
Point.
this character in the forefront, and it looks like an older character, right? It looks based on what we see on this picture, in this image.
Yeah, somebody in my chat was saying it might just be the hunter armor, like literally the mask.
Okay, but
So it
yeah.
might just be the helm for the gear you might be able to get from this event, which
Mhm.
definitely has kind of a unique look, like steampunk Halloween going
Yeah.
crazy. The cloak obviously is, but it may just be literally the helm for that character, and it just fits in kind of being creepy. But
Mhm.
actually, one of the things I was wondering about on this as well, because power level being a thing that matters for sure.
Mhm.
There's no way the haunted for. I kind of wonder what. Okay, now I have multiple questions. I added some onto myself.
Let's go.
Okay, first,
Mhm.
are you gonna have to put the mask and replace your helm and
Yeah, because
lose
that was a
your
problem always with
slots?
Festival of Lost. You would lose your light
Yeah,
running
lose your.
around with these masks.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, I'm 380. No, I'm like 280.
Yep. Yep. That's a good point. Or will it act as an ornament?
See, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But then you have to basically open up ornaments for every single piece of legendary gear, and
Yeah.
not all of them have it.
That's a good point. That's a good point. It's going to be an interesting handle to see how they implement it because in the past it's always been you'd have to take off strong gear and then put on this mask that would drop you down to next to nothing because the light level on these things would be non-existent.
No, John had one. It might be a consumable thing that lasts for like 24 hours or a week or something like that. Could
Hmm.
be one of those if you actually just put it on over. Because I saw the
Hmm.
one that was like, feel like a picture somewhere where it's like you have the traveler head. And
Hmm.
I feel like some of those before were, it was if you had the ingram head, but some of those were true masks though. I'm trying to remember. But
Hmm.
my other question is, as the haunted forest is for everyone, what
Hmm.
level do you think that's going to be?
Hmm. I don't know. That's a hard one. What
I mean, is it going
level
to
is
scale? Is it going to
it? Well, we know the activity gets harder the deeper you go in it.
right?
Um, and the vibe I'm getting from them is that they're trying to make it very inclusive at first because of
Yeah.
the announcement. We're gonna get into that announcement,
Yep.
but hmm, I don't think it'll be that hard though. I would say,
I mean, there has to be a point if you run in solo that it's actually a challenge. Otherwise, everybody can do it if they're 500 or above. Because if somebody's on D2 vanilla only and they're capped at, I don't even remember the cap, 300,
mhm.
20, I don't remember.
Generally,
Um,
yeah, continue.
no, I was just like, if that's as high as they go, but they can step into the same activity,
Mhm.
either it's just going to scale to what you are,
Mhm.
or I don't know. Just have to, I have
I'm
no
going.
clue on that.
I'm going with in your chat. I'm going with 500, like Oscar in your chat, because the point of entry has to be low so that anybody can jump in. But then as you progress, obviously going to be rewards and bounties and things tied to certain things. I think that's probably how they handle it. Because I've if I remember past festival laws, I never thought about them as like super difficult activities. I remember as you went along certain quests, towards the end of it, the things that they asked you to do may have increased difficulty. So I'm gonna actually say it's gonna have a low barrier for entry. It's gonna probably be like 500 just to start whatever you need to start, but progressively, go up in difficulty.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool if you get to little checkpoints or you open one of those little doors and it's like level 550, level
Hmm.
560, like you keep pushing through a little bit. So I don't know. We'll
Hmm.
see. But yeah, I was like, just kind of got some questions answered. It's like they still haven't done transmog. Everybody's dying for that at some point, which is hopefully something maybe they'll do in D2 or
Hmm.
D3, but who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of wondering how the masks work because if you do truly drop like you have 5 pieces of gear, if you're 600 and you put one on, you drop to 480, that's a
That's
hit
a
and a half. You
huge.
can't go do anything. Like you're gonna go get your butt whooped in the Dreaming
Yeah.
City. So
Yep.
just have to see. I don't know because
Oh, good point.
that's the why. I mean, because that was the whole thing before about the mask was acquiring them, so you could take it on, put it off, take it on, put it off. If it's just
Mhm.
a consumable, then like okay, some of those activities wanted you to do whatever wearing a specific mask, and
Right.
if they want you to go do a nightfall wearing Zavala's mask, I'm gonna get killed trying to do a nightfall. So
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's very, very. I mean, you think maybe they handle it kind of like what was this last one? The solstice.
yeah, where
Remember
it's
they
just
had
a
to.
set of armor or something like that with ornaments.
Yeah, maybe it's some. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's very, very interesting because I mean, not in the sense that it's a sense of armor, but maybe from the sense of, you started off really low,
Hmm.
you know, I don't know. This is a very interesting thing. They're talking about this. They're talking about solo matchmaking. They're definitely making it an event. This is not something that's just going to be just put on a mask and run around and that's it. So
Yep.
very curious to see how this is handled.
Yeah. So crossing fingers, they also we get them. Will they be possible from a collection, queued lad?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
maybe. I don't know. I'm hoping we get something that surprises us. Nice little step in the direction for the game. Have to see. Question.
Yes.
If we actually get the right answer for Bungie. But
Hmm.
um I don't know if Steve and Scott are still at the helm of this, or even at least making sure it's pushed in the right direction. I so far mostly have faith outside
Yeah,
of a few
absolutely.
penalties.
Absolutely. This is Forsaken has been a home run through and through. Definitely have faith.
Yep. So second wave. So this is one a lot of us talked about, wondered what was going on, why. Now there's two different schools of thought on this one. I have a feeling.
Hmm.
So when they launched Forsaken, to play Forsaken, you had to own all of Destiny 2 Year One, including the two expansions. That's about to change.
Yes. Huge, huge
So,
deal.
effective October 16th, the purchase of Destiny 2 Forsaken will include the, the two expansions included in the Destiny 2 expansion pass. Every
Hmm.
player of Destiny 2 who is yet to touch down on the Tangled Shore will only need the Forsaken upgrade. So our hope is that this will eliminate some of the questions that confront a player as they try to join the party. So what do you
Mm.
think? I want to know your straight up opinion.
Um, I think it's good. I think it's. I mean, it's something that probably this is them breaking. This is how I look at it. I think this is them breaking protocol. They've always been Bungie's history or Activision's history has always been when the major content drop, like a Taken King comes out, that major style expansion comes out, that they're like, hey, you can't play it, unless you've had the previous DLC before and the new one. They've kind of been hard and fast, and they've been getting away with it, and we've been buying it. But it does in Forsaken's case. I did empathize with the guy who had D2, got disenchanted with it or whatever. Just said I'm done.
Yep.
Didn't pick up Curse after bad reviews, and rightfully so. Could we get mad at that guy
Oh
who
yeah.
didn't pick up Curse of Osiris? Warmind comes out, got average, mid to average reviews. I can't get mad if a person says, "Hey, I'm still not ready to come back to Destiny." Then the Forsaken comes out, it gets rave reviews. He's like, you know what? I'm ready to come back to Destiny, and now you go, boom! You've got to have Curse of Osiris and Warmind to even play Forsaken.
See,
You
I don't.
know,
That's like that's one of those decisions that I feel like was not entirely theirs.
Yeah, that's Activision. This is an Activision. There's no doubt in my mind. And again, please, if you haven't watched, I pressed Lord Rick Hogue from Hogue Law. He's a gaming lawyer. He deals a lot with these corporations. We talked about Destiny exclusives. I asked him a lot of Destiny questions. So these are the kind of things that get worked out behind the scenes. And as far as this price structure and things of that nature, and I think this is also finally some goodwill on their end because let's be honest, D2's launch, as well as it did financially, as hard as it tapered off sales wise, there was a humbling thing for them. That if you
Yep.
probably if they had their stat guys in the book, on deck, and they're doing their forecasts about how they think Destiny 2 as a franchise going to do, right? When it dropped out the gate and we were all in our honeymoon phase, that was what they expected to continue throughout the expansion,
Yeah.
from D2 all the way to Warmind. It dropped off dramatically. The game was a joke. Everyone, ran for the hills. Destiny's dead. Destiny's dead. People were screaming from the hills. So now that you finally getting some goodwill back, Forsaken is this amazing content, you know, why not? Why not do some goodwill and keep, because one thing we do know, and this is my last point. One thing we do know when you do things like that, where you're forcing people to buy all this additional content, now you're separating the base, right? It's like the equivalent of a Call of Duty with map packs. Oh, you can't play the new one until you have all these, you know what I mean? Expand.
Yep. Yeah.
You're segmenting it. You've lost your base. Let's get them back. I know people in this exact situation. This
Hmm.
shout out to my boy Bloody Knuckles. He is Destiny hardcore, right? Felt betrayed by Destiny 2, right? Each subsequent thing, I said, nope. Is he come to me like, Cognito, I know you're gonna give me a real talk. I know you in Flashpoint. You know, when he bothers you guys talk Destiny, like, is it safe? And I couldn't tell him it was safe with Osiris to come back. I couldn't tell him it was safe with Warmind. I'll be honest with him. I'm saying, look, they did some hard things for the hardcore Warmind. I don't know if everything is all the way you want it. Then when Forsaken came out, I'm like, dude, it's ready to go. It's back. You know what I'm saying? All the way. Weapon rolls, good story, good lore, great raid. You know what I'm saying? Just boom. And he's like, all right. And then they look and say, wait, I gotta buy Osiris and Walmart just to do it. It's tough sell, man. It's tough sell. So kudos to them on this one. You know, that's what I feel. No ramble, but just wanted to give some different aspects on it. But what do you feel? Like, what do you feel? Were you shocked by this? When you read this whole Forsaken includes Osiris and Warmind for free?
So part of this is one of those where they may have been allowed to finally be like, hey, we got to open the gates. We want to get more people. Let us have some freedom here. But on the other side, it's like they got their initial push. They got the Forsaken. They got the people who bought the bundles, who bought the collections. So, I mean, this basically shoots the collection or basically drops the price on it, because I saw the price dropped on the... That actually makes more sense. On IGN deal thing come through and the collection dropped down to $40. Because that basically is the price of Forsaken. So it basically drops the price on everything, which is probably not a bad thing. Some people who may feel like they got shafted because they feel like, oh, I had to buy this whole thing just to get Forsaken, which really was just like $20 on top of Forsaken. So depending on what you had paid for or not, it was probably the value of one of those expansions anyway. So, I mean, it wasn't the end of the world, but people who were like, oh, if I just would have waited, if you just would have waited, you would have missed out on all this already. And there's always a price for being an early adopter, no matter what you're doing. So the nice thing about this is they didn't forget the early adopters. And this is the piece that I want to shout out. So you could see both sides of the coin. You could be like, oh, now they're going to let you in after they got all their initial push and the money from launch and all that stuff. But on the other side, they could have just been like, well, okay, finally, we're going to lower the curtain and let more people in, and that's it. They could have just said, hey, Forsaken's all you need now, and not had any more on this paragraph. They could have stopped right here on this line and had no more, but they typed some more. What about us is what everyone who already purchased Forsaken is asking. You are a vanguard. We appreciate you for beginning the hunt on day one. You were there when the first raid finished, changed the Dreaming City. You've been part of the conversation that has breathed enthusiasm back in the tower. For you and only the players like you, we have a collection of veterans rewards as an expression of our appreciation for being on the front lines. Every Guardian who played Forsaken prior to October 16th will receive the following bundle. A unique emblem, which, by the way, is pretty cool.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and zoom this guy in here. Let's see how big I can get it.
Right.
So you got like a tiger stripe emblem with what looks to be kind of a badass looking little black tiger. You've got a shader that you will only have if you got this. You got 2 exotic emotes. Now, what do exotic emotes cost sometimes? We know the Iron Banner one occasionally costs like $10.
$10.
So that alone might even cover your difference depending. But you got a coin flip emote, you got a knife trick emote, and you've got a consumable bundle. Now, if it's just like one of each of these, somebody, forget who did it. I think it was Tass. He was like, I'm going to need about 300 of those finest matter weaves to make my early adoption. Cracks me out, by the way. Y'all need Masterwork cores, like, you know, it's something going crazy.
Yeah, they need a Masterwork core bundle.
Masterwork, yeah, give me just Masterwork cores. Just By the way, here's 50 Masterwork cores for being part of it. So, but they did not have to do this. Facts. And most of you guys may be like, hey, it's cosmetics, it's boons, it's not that great. It is something, though.
Yes. So
not to be a Bungie shill or apologist or whatever you want to call. I can completely understand, because there's some people, and one of my friends was the one who did not get Warmind. He ended up buying them because they were on sale. They were down to like $10. They were pretty cheap. So if you wanted to jump in, then you got the opportunity to. But if you were just like, hey, I want to wait, and now you want to do it, you're good.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is a bad thing, just because it brings more people back into the game, which is pretty much all we're asking for. The more players, the better. The more newbies that can run around in Crucible that I can shoot and have a chance to kill, they're better.
Listen,
but don't misunderstand me saying I think this is a good thing by me not understanding that some people may truly feel shafted because they're like, if I would have just waited a little bit, what's the deal? So
completely understand that. You know, I will say that again, let me put, because you're gonna say we're chilling for Bungie, but at the end of the day, it's like the option is do nothing. right? Which is you just drop the price. You don't do anything for that community who actually was there day one, and you piss people off. So at least I don't feel they're tone deaf anymore. Where it's like before they would just do something like that, and it's like, wow, what about the guys that were there day one? That kind of. I've seen other companies do stuff like that. So I like that. And actually this set, if I recall, they've actually used this tiger stripe thing before in a similar fashion. I believe during the Taken King era, because I remember seeing a sparrow or this design, this veteran kind of design that you've been in before kind of deal. So this is something that they have done in the past before. I can't get my timeline correct if it was Taken King or if it was right before Age of Triumph. There was some cool thing like this that they did for the vets. And listen, I like it. Hey, we could always ask for more. Of course. I'm not saying, hey, I'm completely satisfied with this. Yeah, of course I can be greedy and ask for more, but it's just some type of acknowledgement to that, to that base. So I'm good with it, man. Ultimately, the gamers went out. Gamers went out. For people who have been on the fence, at least they can jump in. You know what I mean? You want more community. You want more people playing Destiny. That's ultimately what this is about.
Yeah. So, I mean, it could be more, it could be less. Somebody in chat saying, hey, it could be ship or a spare or something like that, which would be cool too. Again, still just a cosmetic piece. He's like, I'm not that greedy. He's like, I want all the things. Can I have the full armor set too? But overall, it's one of those pieces where they are trying to acknowledge the base. They are trying to get more people in. They got the approval to basically open the gates a little more. And they're just doing what they can for those who they know feel like they may be like, hey. And they're like, here's a token of our appreciation. Thank you for boosting this game to what it has been.
Absolutely.
All they can do. So the tiger stripe, black shader, and veterans nameplate emblems are exclusive to players who earn this bundle by playing Forsaken prior to October 16th. Yeah. You have till Monday. Get on it.
Get on it. You've been warned.
The 2 exotic emotes will be made available on Eververse sometime in the future. All names are subject to change. So, yep. And they're just going to be, I think, in Eververse as either just something to come through for Bright Dust or maybe just a engram or anything like that. So I don't know if you're going to pop in your engram or how that's going to go. I think other people may be able to get them too, it looks like. But I think we're just going to get them straight up.
Straight up.
So at least my understanding. So pretty cool stuff. And again, it's just a tip of the hat to those who started it out. And they're just saying thanks. Which is nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong.
Right there. Thank you for playing and thank you for being the first to experience what we've created. It's exactly what they're doing.
Exactly. So. And thank you for not leaving people who are on the fence about Destiny Forsaken, because this is great content. We want people to play it. We want, you want the online population to be grown. So this kind of thing, to be honest with you, E, I'm curious to see moving forward if they will adopt this from now on. Maybe when it releases, the first early adopters go in, we get our Forsaken, most of us already had that content, the previous expansion content anyway. So it really didn't affect the hardcore, right? So maybe this is a new thing now. And with especially, let's be honest, especially in this rise of pushback towards microtransactions, EA's been getting hit. Take-Two's been getting hit with 2K. People, legislation is coming. I mean, whether we agree or disagree, that's another entirely podcast for that. But the point of the matter is that a lot of these big name publishers are going to have to adopt different strategies now. And the only thing that I can say, which was negative in the Destiny community, as far as we will both agree, Destiny doesn't nickel and dime you with microtransactions. I never felt that way. I never felt cosmetics and all that give you some advantage.
Cosmetics are exactly that. They're an optional thing to your game, like anything else. So.
Destiny's never been that game. But the only thing you could accuse Destiny of is, they always nickel and diamond with the expansions and they're making you get this and that. And if they do this, where it's like early adopters, boom, first month, okay, cool. And then you wait, what is it now? We're about a full month now from Forsaken's launch, right?
Yeah, it'll be about 6 weeks altogether.
Exactly. So now you go, okay, 6 weeks, boom. You know what? For those guys on the fence now, boom, it's free. I wouldn't mind if they adopt this. I wouldn't mind. I think it's a nice gesture, honestly.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of thing. You think like something that Overwatch, there's no characters, there's no progression, there's no weapons. Like that is the only thing. But that stuff is still cosmetic too.
Right.
Just some of those roles are absolutely trash, which hopefully get a little bit better. I mean, I played that a little bit, and I was like, every time all I would get is like a little bit of gold, which takes 1,000 to do anything, or a duplicate of something, and yeah, I just never got the stuff I wanted. But
Gotcha.
on here, yeah, it's just a tip of the hat and a thank you, and generally just positive stuff. Personally, as a big fan of this, it's like me, I've been playing, I don't know how many hours I've already got out of this game anyway. So I got plenty of time out of it. And if it just opens up the universe for more, it gives people an option. And I mean, they're about to go up against Call of Duty like today, which is available. Shout out to Blackout. That'll be interesting. You've got Red Dead coming in like 2 weeks. And a lot of stuff coming. So for them to try and keep people around or say, hey, do you want to check this out as well? Or a Christmas gift or something, they're opening that, door that was blocking to be like, hey, you had to buy it all before. Nope, not anymore. So overall, I'm all right with it.
Yep. What else we got?
Sorry, guys. Taking care of my nose.
Take care of the nose, baby. Take care of the nose.
Out of the iron and into the fire. This is why I said there's too much crap to do. Iron Banner's next week as well.
Woo! Let's go.
I don't have enough time.
Yes, overload.
Don't have enough time. Iron Banner comes back along with Festival of the Lost, along with, by the way, heads up, week 3 in the Dreaming City. So, yeah. Pick something. So if you don't have your 3rd subclass and you missed that, you got to jump in for that. If you didn't make it through the Shattered Throne or get your Wish Under, you've got to grind that one out. This is why I'm glad Festival of the Lost is 3 weeks. I don't know what to do first. But Iron Banner is changing with 2.0.4. The bounties have been altered, so they're not quite as lengthy, and everything drops powerful gear. Remember that. Every single bounty now offers powerful gear as a reward, so even if you do some of the quicker ones, you'll get some powerful gear. If you make the longer grinds, you've got, 6 options? Yes. I mean, 6 pieces of powerful gear is no joke. Now, they may not be the big boosts if you're at 580, but 6 pieces altogether, that's solid. My advice on these as you're going through, like if you're leveling up throughout the week, if you knock one out early, maybe don't pop that one until you're like, hey, I've got a couple things that are lower, a couple things that are higher. Try and get those points where it's going to start really balancing you out. Yeah. Use those as those little fillers, because I don't imagine these are going to be Queen's bounties type, like Dreaming City level light bumps like the other stuff will be.
Right.
But every bounty has been reduced in time to grind. So Light Bearer super kills down 5 from 25 to 20. Match completions. This is probably the biggest. 30 matches is a lot. Yeah. I mean, if you live in Crucible and you park your little tent in the corner next to Shaxx and all right, cue me in for the next game, coach. I'm good. Like you'll probably hit 30 on your first day. Most of us want to do some other stuff, but Crucible man over here, Cognito's like 30. I need 300. What are you talking about?
No, listen. I agree with you. I played when I completed all those bounties. And I'm like, man, that took a while. It really was a time investment. It's just because I love Crucible. But if I put myself in everyone else's shoes, who's like an average to, mid-level average interest in Crucible, that's a slog. That's a slog. I have to give it, because for me, even when I was like, man, I still got all these type of kills to get. I got to get these. I got to get super kill or whatever, and heavy kills. It's a lot, man. So listen. These are cool adjustments, and the main thing is that every single one now offers powerful gear, and shout out to Raquel in the chat. Yeah, Iron Ban's going to be a good source now. Iron Ban is going to be a good source for powerful gear, and I like that. And the thing I like most about it reminds me of D1, because for guys like me who like to play a lot more Crucible than the average PvE guy, like that means I can live in the Crucible and still benefit. I can still benefit while you guys are out doing, the haunted forest, and what I'm saying. If I just want to just play Crucible all day, I can still stay on the track. And I think that's what D1 always did better than D2, which was depending on the style of player you was. If you just wanted to play Crucible, you had that. You had and you had the True Meaning of War bounty, and you had Trials of Osiris. Yeah. You could literally max light by doing just those activities.
Yeah. So this balanced that out a little more. I mean, even listen to Datto at one point, he was just like, guys, it's the first Iron Banner. It's going to change. They're just not trying to throw it all to you at once. Right. What do you know? Like 2.5, 3 weeks later, bam, here we are. So yeah, powerful gear coming from those. Shout out to
Mhm.
I don't even know how to say your name, man. Type it in chat, but it's QLat86. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
he's
say
lit.
like QLat, but I don't
Mhm.
know. Um, he was just saying also he's like, there's too many powerful engrams in the game, in his opinion. I'm casual, picked up the game a
Mm.
few months ago, and now I'm 581.
Hmm. Interesting.
So
I
yeah,
got
by the way,
notes.
QLat, oh, he's also asking about the prime buff. He's like, it might be broken. He got 3 prime engrams. It kind of depends on how frequently and how often you've been playing. I was
Yeah.
literally going through my Tuesday grind with both my characters. I got 1 between both. So
Hmm.
maybe it's like 1 a day. Maybe it's supposed to be like how much you've played. Um, QLat. Okay, cool. I said it right. But I know we talked about it before. But yeah, basically, I was just saying it's like there are a lot of ways to get to max level, and now
Hmm.
there's even more, so
Right.
that the casual picking up the game can get up to that max level. I still wish there was some type of either caveat or asterisk or 610 from doing the raid, something, but we've covered that before. But yeah, just throwing that out
Mhm.
there. It's like I feel you, believe me, because you can do you can do a lot of things in this game, not touch end game, and still be max level, which for me is still a little bit of an issue for those who want to actually get that final accomplishment.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Mhm. No, I mean, you know, I don't disagree with you. I don't. I always feel like the hardest activity should get you to the max light and stuff like that. And I always encourage that kind of play because ultimately you want people to play this. This is great content. This is great content. So why avoid it all the time by not engaging in it? So I'm with it. As far as Q-Lat's point in reference to powerful, I kind of like the way it is now because it incentivizes me every day to log in every day because when you see like a daily powerful gear, you're like, man, I got let me do this. I have to set plans now. I'm like, okay, what's the most efficient thing I can do today? If I have limited time, I can do, okay, 3 gambit matches, get this. I can live in strikes for a minute, or, you know what I'm saying? I can do crucible for, do the 5 matches, stuff like that. And then when you do the weeklies out the way, each day something new will pop on, come reset. So for me, it just makes the world a little bit more living. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from, E.
Yeah.
Like I just like that every day I can do something. There's something new to do that's going to grant me that source. If and let's be honest too. The other thing is, even though you get a powerful grip, it doesn't guarantee you to boost light. Let's be honest, because there've been many times I've gotten kinetic weapons in the same slot that don't give. You know what I mean? Or you get a piece of, you don't get the piece of armor or piece of weapon slot that actually will affect your light going up. There's still RNG with that as well. So I'm cool with it, man. I actually like how it is. I mean, can't get off Destiny, so that tells you
No,
something for me.
I play way too much.
Way too much. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So yeah, that's just kind of one of those things it's hard to balance. And they're trying to go between not going too casual, which is where we got to where we were in the world of Destiny 2 year one.
Mm-hmm.
They threw everything at you, everything was too easy. And
Mm-hmm.
then they kind of flipped it all the way to the other side on Forsaken. They're kind of letting some people ease in. But that first month grind has been one hell of a grind. It's been legit. So I mean, opening the doors more. I mean, I will say some of these are like, I mean, match completions, 15 match completions. If you spend 15 Crucible matches in there,
Mm-hmm.
you can do 1 and get your daily done sometimes. So I mean,
Right.
spending 15 in Iron Banner, there's still some time in these. You can't just like fall, you can't just like trip over powerful engrams. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
shout out to the art design as well, because once again, somehow making the Iron Banner
Oh,
gear look different.
yeah.
I mean, these 2
Facts.
weapons are, by the way, pretty good ones from what I've heard. So it's
What are you? Break them down.
yep. So it's the Fox, and let me zoom in on this one. Here we go. So we got, what is it? I don't even have both of these. I think I got one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember what the hell they're called, because they say the Wolves and the Fox. So it's the Sniper and the Pulse, which are
Yeah.
both good, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
The pulse is really good. Claws or something, I think.
yeah, Claws of the Wolf. Is that Claw of the Wolf?
Yeah,
Claws of the
something like
Wolf?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Claws of the Wolf.
That
Mm-hmm.
one I know is solid from what I've
Yeah, that
heard.
one's good. That one's really good.
And then I think the sniper rifle, I've seen people use it. I don't think I've got it, but it
Mm-hmm.
always like just it has its own look. It's cool.
Yeah. I need a rocket, man. I was hoping for a rocket launcher. I need a rocket launcher so
I
bad.
need that bad omens tracking
Oh,
and cluster bombs. Like that's the
preach.
only rocket launcher that anyone wants, because every other
Yes.
one. does not. See, that's kind of an annoying thing to me. I mean, I guess there's a point of some rockets having some perks and not, but like, I mean, if it's a rocket launcher, like Sleepless, I'm pretty sure that one cannot have tracking, and it can have cluster because I've got one with it, but it doesn't seem to want to roll with tracking, and I don't know if it can. And that's kind of annoying that the other rocket launcher can't do it. And it's only the one from Gambit, which is even more annoying because that's harder to get packages from him. So
That's a preach.
Yeah. So, but some cool gear. So yeah, Foxes and Wolves will be out in battle. And remember, every time you do one of those bounties, you're going to get powerful gear anyway from doing the bounty. And then with your tokens, you're going to be able to unlock a piece of armor or 2 of these weapons from them. So we have plenty to do.
Yes, you do.
Also, can't scroll past this. Double Valor and Triple Valor this weekend. So for those Crucible lovers out there, Double Valor may not incentivize you. Maybe do your Dreaming City, maybe do your Haunted Forest, jump into the Shattered Throne. But over the weekend, if you want some Valor from Monday through Reset, or what would that be? Friday through Reset. Basically, when Xur is in town, it's going to be Triple Valor over the weekend. So jump into Crucible, jump into Iron Banner. That's your time to grind out. So maybe you split your week. Maybe you do some Haunted Forest. Maybe you do Shattered Throne, and then come Friday, then you jump back on your Crucible wagon and you're good to go.
Yeah, you got options, man. You got options for Crucible. This is Crucible Dream, man. I'm on my Regix grind. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Perfect time.
Some of that grind in this weekend, so see if I got some. It's next weekend, which is good because I have family in town this weekend. Not gonna get as much time to play this weekend.
Life getting it away.
I know. Just got up to 583, and I'm like, I gotta get me some of that.
No doubt.
But yeah, so definitely spend some time. We got the Valor coming up. Apparently, if you're reading these words in English, they're going to work on other localized versions of the blog, which is impressive. So I guess they're going to work on some translations. That's one thing to remember, guys. If they put anything in the game, they have like 12 languages to cover. Nothing is going to be fast when you do that. Because if you've ever seen something of a localization that goes poorly, not a good thing. So yeah, they got to make sure you get that stuff right.
Yes.
And in case you really wanted some, you can make your paper masks. These are back.
This is
honestly
hilarious.
The picture, if you saw on Twitter, Cosmo was wearing this mask sitting in front of his computer working on the TWAB. This thing is apparently bigger than I thought it was.
So yeah, clearly.
It's not small. And yeah, if it fits Cosmo's head, it's good to go. So got a couple options. You can get the free Papercraft chicken template courtesy of the Bungie store. You've also got Scorn, Shax, and Uldren Sov. So you got your masks to put on. I mean, these are just like, they take time to build like paper crafts so you can literally print them out. Yeah, if you guys don't see that, go look up Cosmo's Twitter. He's got a fun one.
Hilarious.
And if you get any of these things that you want, mask wise, you can actually get this emblem. So I know they're going to get some quick stuff that way, which is always nice. See, these are ones that, like, hey, if somebody spends like $1 on a mask and gets an emblem, cool. Half of the Bungie, I don't know how much of Bungie stores like proceeds go to St. Jude's anyway, if not most all of them. So I mean, it's always to a good cause. So it's like, hey, if I'm like, hey, is there a t-shirt I want? They're always a good fabric. They're soft. Yeah, I'm probably gonna buy one. And I finally got my Solstice of Heroes shirt. That took a while. I ordered it like before the event ended, but it took way too long. But I did finally get it. Excuse me, guys. I'm like all over the place with my voice this morning.
All good, bro. As long as you're okay. It's the main thing.
But for the schedule, so 2.0.4, we got a patch coming up. That's just going to be normal downtime. Just going to go down earlier on Tuesday morning. Doesn't matter because I'm never at my house. But it looks like it should be back up normal time. So going down earlier than usual for like a reset or just a tick over. So it'll be down for about 3 hours. Nothing major, nothing crazy. They'll get the patch up, and then Festival of Lost will be launching. You just make sure you have to actually have the patch for Festival of Lost. If you don't, reboot, reload, re-download, whatever you got to do, and jump back in there. There are a couple known issues. If you guys know about them, look at them. There's an Ascendant Challenge emblem that's out there that's not updating correctly. PC still having some FPS issues. Occasionally, that's an issue. There is also an issue with Petra's Run.
Yes.
So there's an issue with people getting kicked back to orbit or being disconnected, like killing a run, like Petra's run. So
Mhm.
if you're going to go on Petra's run, you're going to try and flawless the raid. You better have a rock solid connection. Go call your cable company and be like, hey, you drop my connection now. I'm going to literally walk over there and rip your service out. So, but yeah, overall, just, by the way, I want to shout that out. Can you believe that's actually a thing
Yeah,
for
like
the Ravensbane title?
that's what I'm saying.
That's not gonna happen for me, man. I don't think
I'm like,
I
oh
straight up
well.
don't think it's gonna happen. I was like, one of my friends was working on the Riven fight long enough with some people.
Mhm,
They kind of had the damage phase,
mhm,
but it's just like, so like you've seen the raid enough now. You've seen what's in there with the symbols and everything. Do you think it's like, is it really necessary for them to make 4 fish, 4 birds, 4 dragons? If you okay, so if you're not going to do things like like Roman numerals be like 1, 2, 3, 4.
yeah.
If it's not going to be that, can at least be separate animals, maybe a bird,
Yes.
a rat, a fish, a
Yes,
tiger, a
I
lion.
agree.
Like
I agree.
at least make
Multiple
them just,
variations of the same type
yeah,
of
not like a dragon holding a stick on this side, a dragon holding a stick in its mouth, an upside
yeah.
down dragon. Like, and that's why people made those things where you can say, like, 8 snake, like infinity snake,
Yes.
like that stuff. I mean, you can say them quick, but it's like, what if it was just snake? You would still have enough stuff and enough distinction in there. Why you have to make 4 of the
That is
same?
true. That is an
Like
interesting
that, some of
design
that stuff
choice.
seems like those are some of the things where a buddy of mine was saying it's like, I know the raid's difficult, but I mean, just the call outs, it's like it's almost overly so. And I know people do it. It's like it's been done, obviously,
Mhm,
but one of his friends did the Petron 5 times already and kept getting, oh
mhm.
my god. They did the Petron 5 times and got guitar arrows. I would probably
Wow.
give up or like petition Bungie and be like, dude, go look at my gameplay. It's in there. I'm not doing this again. My hair is gone. All of my hair is gone. So
Mhm,
it's just a like, I understand they made it hard. Now, this is one of the things I was talking about them. If they
mhm,
ever wanted to use guided games in a great way,
mhm.
what if they literally like halved the mechanics in the raid and made that the guided games raid? What do you think? I
Interesting.
mean, seriously, like take Cali, for example.
Right.
Say if you say there's only one symbol on each.
Mhm.
So say 2 people hold down a platform instead of having to solo a platform. So you
Right.
literally could have 3 people Sherpa 3 people.
Mm,
I mean, that's that fight that I thought of, but you could do that for a guided games raid and actually have that thing be viable.
mhm.
That's what they need to do with got like that type of. They need to make, since they made the raid basically they made it hard mode. That's just the only option.
Right.
They need to make like a guided games easy version so people can experience like the damn best content in the game.
No, listen. I'm with that. I want the mode to be utilized. I mean, it's this feature that they touted at the launch of Destiny 2, and it still hasn't really been expounded upon. It's still not in a good spot. So instead of like, that's a great idea. Instead of using these grandiose, oh, let's do the whole raid. Maybe they have these mini versions. You know what I mean? Where you take the Kali encounter, you take the Shuro Chi encounter, and it's just the encounter. You see what I'm saying? Because let's be
Yeah.
honest, also finding 6 people to do something, and then also finding 6 people that got that length of a time commitment to complete all of that.
Yep.
That's challenging. So I think that is a good idea. Kind of break it up by section.
Yeah. So I mean, for the Shuro Chi fight, when you get to the puzzles, just have one.
Yeah.
Um, maybe they take the crystals out. Maybe you just have to kill all the ads and then you can damage her.
Mhm.
Trying to think of Morgeth. Maybe there's just, I mean, just like literally half the encounter. So I mean,
Mhm.
you still have to have 3 people who know what they're doing, but you have 3 Sherpa, 3 people looking for newbies.
Mhm.
I mean, make voice chat a requirement because
True.
there's no way in
No way
hell.
you're gonna do it without voice chat. But I will say this: if they're gonna do stuff like that to sure, I kind of will feel a way if they're getting similar style rewards for that kind of a raid run. If you know what I mean. You get me? Because if they're doing, you know, puzzles with, not the full difficulty of the joint because they're new, I don't want them coming out there with, curated god rolls and you know what I'm saying? Like we just got to be careful with the rewards on the Sherpa if they're being Sherpa'd in this type of fashion.
Yeah.
I just don't
Well, I
want
mean,
it to
that
be.
would also be a point where if you did the Sherpa raid, that'd be a point where my whole idea of the in-game content being how you get to 600, maybe the Sherpa raid stops giving you a boost at like 580, 590. And maybe the curated roles are not an option. It's only random.
Right.
1,000 voices straight up doesn't come from there.
That's what I'm saying. Like they can't have the
Stuff like that.
full loot pool and full, because that will be exploited. That will be
Yeah, I mean, it
exploited.
absolutely would. But
Mhm.
I think that'd be a way. I mean, they want more people to do their best stuff.
Right.
Like Yogaroth,
Mhm.
not his name actually, but that's his Twitter handle. But those guys who do the raid, they're like, they do content. They're like, man, 20% of the people get to see this stuff, maybe 30, like depending on how many people
Mhm.
jump in. Find that way, make
Right.
that stuff easier
Right.
for a guided version. So explaining like, hey, here's these 16 symbols.
Mhm.
Like, I
No,
mean,
I definitely hear you. I definitely hear
yeah,
you,
so
man.
that would be, but yeah, I mean, shout out to the people doing Petros Run. That is insane. But just that made me think of like other stuff about the raid that,
Yeah.
I mean, when you get into it, it's like, yeah, you got to figure out and you got to know what to call. And that's just part of like learning a difficult raid. It's not meant to be easy, but some of
Mhm.
that stuff was to a point of almost excessive. Like, I mean, the 16 symbols could be 16 different symbols if they're not going to be like, number
Mhm.
1, 2, 3 and not have numbers. Be like, okay, tiger, whale, fish. Like, make them
Mhm.
fairly obviously distinct so you still have a lot of things to know, but they're not like
Yeah.
tiger left, tiger right. Like, come on, really? Like, somebody could just literally get their left and right crossed in their head for a second. And you wipe an entire raid run. Like, little stuff like that is the kind of the annoyances sometimes. So,
Hey, where you coming from?
yeah.
Mhm.
But other than that, guys, they got a couple music videos actually. So they got a
Mhm.
Destiny parody for No Scrubs, and then a Smells Like Raid Spirit. So both of those are little parodies out there. I like those.
I like that. That's kind of hilarious. You gotta laugh.
Oh yeah, they were pretty good. So we
Mhm.
got of the ones on here, we got Mylan Games coming up on PC for Bungie bounties. I'm sorry if I don't know you guys as streamers, not calling you out. These are just the ones I know.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's probably most of them. I know Lucky and Butt Wipe, they've been streamers and stuff. I don't know as many of the other ones, but shout out to all these guys. Like, go jump in, see if these are times when you play Destiny, see if you pair up against them. If you're on the platform, if you're on PlayStation, if you're on PC. Not a lot of Xbox love on this chart. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I noticed. Woe is us.
Woe is the Xboxers. Just
Mhm.
join the PC world. It's time, sir.
No,
It's
Xbox
time.
One X. You ain't got HDR like how I got HDR.
I got
You don't.
HDR.
You don't know. Not the levels that I got it. It's very expensive for you guys to do it, but that's another discussion.
Well, that's a different thing. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, HDR is a little different when it's like 144 hertz.
Yeah, oh, no
So
doubt, no doubt,
it's
no
going to
doubt,
look real fancy when we do get there. But yeah,
no
it takes
doubt.
a little while for that to go from, oh, here's your general TV stuff at like 30
Mhm,
frames per second,
mhm.
60 or 120 frames
Oh,
per
same,
second at the
same.
fidelity and 4K and all the
Oh, it's
fun stuff.
insane.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
So, but when it gets there, it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, guys, that is most of what we got. You got anything else for the week?
No, I mean that's
I
pretty
feel
much
like
it.
this one went quicker than I thought it would, actually.
Yeah, I thought this was gonna be more of a long point. Yeah, no, this is it, man. I mean, I am definitely excited for next week. Obviously we got the patches coming, right? We got two, which we have one launching in conjunction with this one, correct?
Yeah,
On Tuesday.
2.0.4 is Tuesday.
Yes.
And
Right.
then the 30th, 2 weeks from now, will be the kind of, I don't want to say bigger patch, but it's definitely patch 2. Let me see if I can
Hmm.
find it real quick. Because, of
Correct.
course, I have another monitor bonus.
Hmm.
I think it was last week they talked about it.
Yeah.
That's
Two.
about, yeah, that's all the malfeasance. Yeah, so 2.0.5, rebalancing some perks. You've got sword damage in PvE, fusion rifle in PvE, the malfeasance quest stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, 2.04, that one.
Exotic duplicates, the Nightfall exclusive drops,
Yeah.
Masterwork cores. That stuff's all coming. So that's actually probably going to be the bigger one on the
Mhm.
30th.
Right. 30th is
This one will
big.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
30th is big, but still for me, only thing I want to go over with the one that's coming on Tuesday 16th. Obviously we're gonna get more things than Edge, Edge Transit in the legendary heavy slot, power slot.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
one.
So
But remember, guys, dust off those scout rifles.
yes.
Scout rifles, the damage is gonna be buffed. So that nerf that that stealth nerf that was on scouts, since, because I don't know if you guys know, scouts feel terrible in PvE.
Oh, they suck.
They suck. They're not good, especially in Gambit, because I'm like, damn, that's what I really think would be effective, and I want to use them, and I can't. So dust those off. That should be good. Looking forward to that, and the rest is like more little quality of life stuff for that. But don't sleep on that little update, is what I'm saying. So I am personally looking forward to that.
That's to award and Chinese like less edge transits. Broken game. I'm done. I'm out. Nope. Gotta have my edge transits. But yeah, you got Fire and Flood, Zenobia D, Crooked Fang. All that stuff's going to be in there, which is always a good thing. Scouts getting a boost that they desperately need. Like even just when I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, I get a scout rifle. It just goes straight to my vault. It's like I want to set up dim to literally scout rifle, vault it. Like doesn't even matter. Transmat effects into the collections will be a nice little thing just to clean some stuff up, which isn't really an issue. The name over the lost sectors kind of takes away the need for me to make some videos, but that's probably okay. They were going to be fairly pointless videos. But yeah, the one on the 30th, sword damage in PvE, fusion rifle damage in PvE, viability of malfeasance in PvE and Gambit activities. Huge. So like those three are big already. Visibility of the Titan Shield, the exotic duplicate drops, things like that, but they'll have a higher chance for Forsaken drops. Nightfall rewards are going to have that continued addition of basically higher and higher chance at that exclusive drop. If you don't get it, keep running it, and that chance will go up. Masterwork cores are rewards for wanted spider bounties and scrapper bounties. I'm kind of curious the number. I swear if they just make it 1, I'm still going to be like, oh. But I mean, that's an incentive. That's a way to go grind like, you know, we'll see like 15 of them or something.
Yes.
Reducing the time for single shader deletion, and then a fix for Ascendant Primeval Servitor for the wrong team. Like just good things coming on both. So
quality of life, man. Quality of life.
I mean, and this is kind of the thing they've done. They had patches for pretty much all of 2018, January, February, March, April, May. Like they had patches. We got Warmind out. We had more stuff coming. We got Forsaken. We got 2 patches in October. November is probably going to be, it sounds low key, but maybe like a quality of life before the Black Armory drops.
Yeah.
And then Black Armory. Have you heard that there's like a black weapon type?
Yes. And there's a lot of truth to these rumors. Reddit's been popping. There's a lot of truth to these rumors.
Whoever leaked basically most things with Forsaken has been doing it again. So I don't know if it's like Bungie being like, here, go leak this stuff. Like you kind of know what you're talking about. Because I feel like some of it, unless somebody just like put a little like bug on one of their servers and be like, all right, I've got all the information, I can hack in, or somebody's doing it intentionally because man, that stuff is way too accurate. I don't know where they could get it from if they don't have an inside source. Because
it's super accurate, and how I know it's some truth to it is because of the fact that remember during the Forsaken Game Informer, remember they were leaking like crazy. They were giving us all this Forsaken blowout coverage like literally 2 months before Forsaken drop. Remember this? And during that time, they talked about it. They said they did mention, you know, they thought about a black weapon type or something like that for the future, but you know none of that stuff will be in Forsaken. But they mentioned a black weapon type specific that's going to be, you know, something with more of a hierarchy or rarity than exotics themselves. So
I don't even know how that's going to work.
Can you have
an exotic and a black weapon equipped?
How can I know? How's it gonna work?
I know, but I'm like, is that? I mean, when the dude looks like he's holding something that looks like it fell off of a ship, like cannon, it's a huge looking railgun. I don't know what it is. It looks like the size of my body turned sideways. So,
shout out to a water in your chat. He just said something absolutely. I'm not gonna repeat it, but it's absolutely.
Hugh over there, like we're joking about sparrows that we want, and we're just like, I want 170 sparrow speed. Actually. The Edge shell, I want that. I want an Edge Transit Ghost shell. That's a must.
Shout out to Dog Shadow Wolf in my chat. He said heavy machine guns. I'm like, yeah, I need my Lord, baby.
Heavy machine guns. I cannot. Those in PvP were my go. I don't care. I don't care if it was rockets. Or I mean swords. What else was in there? Rockets, swords, heavies.
You talking about D1?
Yeah.
Pretty much it was.
Yeah,
because it was.
I mean, like for one, but man, I would get like 4 or 5 kills
with heavy machine.
Like I would not I would get that heavy weapon, and my goal was to get that Machine Lord medal every time I had that thing. Every time. So I love those things. So I'm curious how much ammo is going to come back for those. That'll be kind of a key because I mean, you had to have a decent clip. You had to have like, because I mean, it's like usually 3 or 4. They're pretty quick and powerful shots. They die fast, but I mean, you got to have like 20, 25 shot. I mean, you got to have a decent amount of ammo in that heavy weapon or heavy to be able to do anything. To compare with grenade launchers now, you have to have a decent sized clip. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm still really curious about the Black Armory and the heavy machine guns and the new raid lair. What?
Oh, and yo, we gotta salute them real quick too. We're not going back to the Dreaming City to do the raid lair.
No, we're not.
Woo! That is progress. That is we cannot understate what I gotta call my man Gaming Addict. Oh, shout out to Addict. People are like, yo, we need to bring him on. I was like, no, we don't.
Yeah, it's a balance. It's a balance.
We love the balance. That's my homie.
Yep.
But no, seriously. But I don't think he knows. So I'm gonna break the news to him, which is his biggest complaint against D2 raid layers was the fact that everything always went back to the Leviathan, that the story was not connected, you know what I'm saying, thematically to the raid layer. And Black Armory looks like it's doing that. We got that Gaunt character, who's apparently had lore from D1 on some fusion rifle. I don't even remember, but that's another story. And then, apparently, like I said, it's going to be, for the rumor is either the EDZ, right? Or is it the EDZ or is it Titan? Where the
layers was EDZ. Yeah, EDZ and somehow maybe Vex too.
Yes, that's what I heard too. So that's pretty exciting. I
don't even know how that works because Vex has not been on Earth.
I'm very curious about it. This is cool. Curious to see what the whole mystery of this Gaunt character, and to see what we're gonna go up against in this raid layer.
Well, I mean, it's like
and they call it one last thing. They're calling it a bubble location. So some type of expansion on like an EDZ. So it's the vibe I'm getting.
Plague lands or
I don't know the vibe. I mean,
like a sew it onto the area, or is it on its own piece? Like
the vibe I'm getting, like almost like an extension of. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I just like how all this is sounding, and again, keeping the narrative of the story campaign of a DLC into a raid layer. I will not complain about shortnesses of raid layers if they do it, because let's be real, right? Eater of Worlds is a great raid layer from mechanic standpoint, and it's decent. It's a good fight.
People enjoy the fight. Yeah, it's a cool fight.
But it's just like it just didn't have anything really to do with anything, overall overarching story. So to see this kind of stuff, and as long as they do, the narrative and a couple cinematics here and there, I'm not expecting Last Wish. I'm gonna be, I'm saying, I'm not Last Wish.
You can't go that. It's a layer,
right?
That big
a layer. I'm gonna be realistic, but what I'm saying is, they're already off on the right foot, in my opinion. When I hear things like that, what do you think?
I mean, for me, there's enough in the Dreaming City. It could be there because it's an entire destination. It's not just been like start the raid and then go down, as you said, apartment 2B. We've said it multiple times. You don't go like down the stairs instead of up the stairs. Like that's in the Dreaming City. It has enough space and room where they could totally make like literally a new portal to go in a place, like they could put something in there. But if it is its own self-contained story that progresses it forward, I'm on board either way. So I was like, if it was in the Dreaming City, it's a full destination. They got plenty of space. They could do anything with that. But if it's of its own story, if its own thing, my only issue with the offset.
Talk to me.
I mean, if it's EDZ, it connects because we know Mercury was a waste.
Right.
And if it's something like Plague Lands, that would be kind of cool. I don't picture it being that big.
Me neither.
Because that was like a Rise of Iron expansion. That was a noticeable chunk for, a full expansion. As it's just an annual pass thing, as it's in your mind like a $10 piece of content, I don't know how it's going to work. Like if it's going to like overtake the EDZ and it completely revamps it. Maybe they give it maybe they give it just cosmetic overdue. There's words that are not coming to my head right now. That there are better words for that. But yeah, I'm honestly kind of curious. And then also Gaunt, apparently he's also EXO.
Yes.
But he doesn't have a number.
Yes.
Died.
That is interesting.
He's like, I don't know if because he runs the damn armory, it's like, well, you can't kill me because I got the best weapons ever. and now you get a chance to see him. I don't know. As for the
Heard
raid
some heard
layer,
something about wizards or some other stuff too. I heard a lot of things with him. There's some lot of mission. Apparently, the raid layer also secrets about him that maybe he don't want us to find. It's a lot going on with this.
yeah. So I mean, if this is part of the, I mean, if they can do it right, if we got a decent raid layer, a couple encounters, they know we want bosses more than one. So if they can even throw two in there with maybe a jumping puzzle, something
Right.
fun, something kind of extends the story, gives us more to do. And see, that I would like too, as you said, if it was EDZ with a new coat of paint,
Mhm.
that is how you progress a game forward. And
Mhm.
that is something that I would really like to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. Again, keeping expectations in check. We've had an amazing expansion with Forsaken. This is not a full blown expansion of that level. This is an expansion in itself, and it's going to have content, and it's going to have a raid layer. But I'm just excited to see, what it's going to be. Shout out to Dark Shadow of my chat. He said, he would like for the raid layer completions to average like 90 minutes, not too long, not too short. So I'm like, I hear you, I
Yeah,
hear you. Little
I could see
balance.
that.
Mhm.
Award over in my chat just broke me.
Oh.
He's like, I'd like to see us fight taken bureaucratic DMV workers in the raid lair. Maybe one mechanic could be you take a certain symbol, then you have to wait 3 hours until they call that symbol. Now serving jumping fish, jumping
Mhm.
fish. And yeah, just like, all right, all right. Now we're getting a little off track there. That's freaking hilarious. I'm losing it over here. So
Oh
just gotta
man,
maintain
salute.
composure. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, just the little bits I've heard, the data mining, whatever's going on for that thing.
Mhm.
November is going to be cool. It's going to be a bit of a downtime because people are going to be buried at Red Dead, stuff like that. Give it a little breathing room, and then
Mhm.
start hyping it back up for that annual pass for whatever's coming with the forge,
Mhm.
the armory, and all that stuff. And honestly, like, if even half of this crap's true, I'm gonna be happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, do stuff like that. Have your expansions change
Mhm.
change the game. Use the spaces you want, but give them a new coat of paint. So then everybody who's playing is like, oh man, that's
Mhm.
cool. But you just can't
Nice.
get to you can't get to the raid layer or you can't get to the black armory without the expansion.
Yes. I'm cool, man. I'm cool with it. This is good stuff, man. Good times. The train keeps rolling. Good times in Destiny, man. This is it's like we complained about content and now we just can't get it. You know what's so funny, E? Realistically, I can't even legitimately think about Black Armor. I can't believe it's so close. And I feel like I haven't done all I need to do with Forsaken.
No. Like Shattered Throne next week, I gotta work on the Wish Ender. It means I gotta run that thing like multiple times.
This is beautiful
Um,
time, man. They're
oh
they're
yeah.
in stride. They're in the right stride right now, and I think it's very key for them because I remember we talked about this in those flashpoints. We know some stuff is looming. We got the Red Dead, you got
Yep.
you got Anthem and all that stuff next year. The Vision too, early next year. But to see them in this good run, and it's just good to see. It just shows me like, look, man, Destiny ain't going out without a fight, man. They're gonna be here.
No, I
They
mean they
keep this
brought
up. Yeah,
everything.
because they make it very Destiny right now makes it very hard for me to play other games when I'm in my house. It's
Oh my
very
god,
hard.
yes.
It's such a selfish game. There so many good things to do
No,
that
I
it's
will say for you, if you haven't tried it yet, since I know you travel and use your Switch a lot, do you
all
have
the
Dead
time.
Cells yet?
Oh, of course. Now, see,
Okay.
this is why the Switch saves me because when I'm at home, Destiny, Xbox One X, that's consuming my life. I have all my friends, my entire clan. It's insane. I'm playing that constantly. But then when I'm not home, I still have these game experiences that that's why I get a lot of my third party stuff on the Switch. So I can at least play it because I know I wouldn't play it at home. So I
Oh
got
yeah.
Dead
No.
Cells. I wouldn't play that on console, right?
How much have you played on that? I kind of got into it a little more recently. I had a
I
I was
literally
going through and I was doing like 5, 10 minute runs, and I finally had I
yeah,
finally beat the damn like first boss I'd come across, the
yeah.
concierge.
Nice.
Got to him the first time, so that was cool.
No,
So,
I literally just downloaded. I just started because what it
oh,
was is
you
how
haven't played it that much
I
yet?
haven't played it yet, only from the standpoint because I was gonna buy it in Kaibatsu. Lord Kaibatsu, shout out to him. He told me wait because Nintendo game sharing started. So
Huh?
we did,
The
yeah. So
hell's
we
that?
doing game sharing, and I'm like, oh, so I was like, let me at least download it before I forget because I was like, oh, you picked that up, good. I don't have to pick that up, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what we do. So Shout out to Kaibatsu on that one. Hey, we're
Yeah, no,
not
I got
cheating,
the
nah, though. That's a feature by Nintendo. Xbox Live also, so no one's cheating.
you
Sharing
guys.
Nintendo Switch Day, yo, the Naruto's going in on me right now.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
god. Anyway,
it's a
that's
good
all I
time to
got.
be a gamer, but it's about the best time it's ever been to be a Destiny 2 player. So for all you guys that have been in chat, it's been lit this morning.
Sir.
Qblat, welcome. You're definitely running things this morning over
Mhm.
in Mind. Shadow Wolf, Snaldo, Sinister, all you guys,
Yes.
Arkill.
Rick
Um,
Arkel, yes. Let's salute. A lot of new faces in the chat too. Dog shout Jethro. A lot of people, man. Good Aqua, if I'm pronouncing that correct. Yeah, been a lot of cool people in the chat. Thanks for engaging us, man. This is fun.
oh, so this is actually a pretty good one to
Mhm.
wrap it up on. Jethro, what he's curious, what is everyone's favorite activity in Forsaken?
Ooh.
Favorite activity could be strike, could be a gambit map, could be shattered throne. So anybody in chat on both sides, what is your favorite activity in Forsaken?
Mhm.
Um,
What's
take a few
yours?
seconds. Are you gonna make me go first?
Of course, you got to go first. I talk too
Why?
much.
It's your chat.
All right,
You
I'll
say
go
I
first.
talk
My
too
chat.
much, or you talk too much?
No, I said I talk too much.
Oh, I
Oh,
feel like I talk too much today, so that's good.
that's why it's always long point for both of us because we love to talk.
Yep.
Um, all right. So I'll wait for chat. All right, nobody's responding to my chat yet. So what I'll say for me, favorite activity. I can't believe I love Gambit as much as I do because of the fact. I think what it is now, I've really got good strategies and loadouts. And like I'm really shout out to Jethro. He said love some Gambit even with sleeper better. Yes, salute.
Yeah.
Even with the sleeper better. Yep, I'm still loving it because I know how to play it. You just can't peek, man. You gotta hide behind things. You gotta look. You gotta be safe. You gotta look at your radar. But yeah, it's Gambit, man, because it's just that whole strategy of melting a primeval, and I have great. I'm coming in there with Luna factions, so I can melt my primeval, pretty fast. I don't. You know what's funny? I don't invade a lot. And I'm actually a good solo player. I don't play a lot of my clanmates in game. I usually time I'm playing by myself. And one thing that I do is my specialty is I am going to focus when the invader comes in and I'm going to kill invaders, right? Once invaders are killed, then I'm going to put my Well of Radiance down, you know, and I'm going to support the team and we're going to melt this primeval. So my thing, and then I'm giving out blessings and divine protection. Like I'm the ultimate support gambit player. I think that's why my teams win because if there's anybody, and if I'm teamed with someone like an addict who's good at like going and invading and killing, forget
Yeah.
it because it's just healing primal. So Gambit, I got really good, and then what made it Gambit even more is I'm gonna keep it real. I feel the loot pool in Gambit is just amazing. Trust, bygones, hazard of the cast. I got all with great
I'm gonna
rolls.
get so much shame to say that I trust is gonna have to grow on me because right now something about that gun doesn't feel right
What's
to
the
me.
roll? What's the roll you got? What's the roll? What's the roll?
No, but it can be the roll or otherwise. I don't know if it's the recoil, the way that gun
It
fires. It
does feel
feels to
different.
me, it is a different gun, and for me, it's
Yes.
just throwing me off. So
No,
like,
it's different. It's different.
I
I
know
give you that.
people love the gun, so I was like, I gotta get on board
Hmm.
eventually. But for me, right, it's either the way the recoil is, whether it's the scope,
Hmm.
something about that gun feels off to me, and it's just one of those like I go to fire it, and I'm like, why do I feel like I'm trying to shoot like
Hmm.
the wings off a fly? I'm like, I can't aim, man. It
Yeah,
just
it's
does
a
not want to
different
happen.
feeling. One and shout out to what you call dog shot blind well. Okay, that's what's up.
Well,
Blind
there
well,
you go.
okay, there you go. Like blind well. Blind well. I think for me, blind well was fun the first couple of times. Now I'm like, I'm a little over it. But I loved it when I had to go get my subclass in there. I'll tell
Yeah,
you that.
that was cool.
So what's your chat
So
say?
I think
Your
on
chat.
my side we
Yeah,
got
what's your chat?
Gambit. Actually started with Kronos.
Mhm.
Kronos killed it all. He said deleting edge transits.
That's his favorite activity.
Somebody just saying, let's see, we got Gambit, Vanguard Strikes, also patrols in the Dreaming City. I know somebody else said Ascendant Challenges, which honestly, to me, those have been a lot of fun. They've been stuck on the wanted bounties, like the same thing 3 weeks in a row, which is annoying.
Hmm.
But honestly, those have been cool because they've been a different mechanic every time too. But
Yeah.
Ascendant Challenge is cool. But for me personally,
Talk to me.
when I stepped into the Shattered Throne, that was it.
3-man raid, baby. I bet
Three
yeah.
man mechanics, the feel of it, the scale.
The
I mean,
scale of
you
it,
look
yeah.
around and there, you're like, this place is huge, and then it
Yeah.
just keeps going, and I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god. So
Yeah.
Shattered Throne for me was like, I mean, watching the raid is like, it's amazing. I did
Mhm.
Shirochi, I did Kali, and then got to Morgath, and just our team was not like just
Yeah.
didn't have it together. So I mean, the raid
I love those two encounters, to be honest.
the first two.
I really love those two encounters because I love the idea of hiding in that little hotel room. Sometimes I like a good straightforward DPS phase. Sometimes you
Yeah.
miss, we ain't got to always mechanic something all the time. Sometimes you just want to get in there and rough something up. And I like that Cali aspect. And the Shiro Chi thing because of the speed and the tension and my music, boy. Woo! So yeah, that's up there too. That's up there
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, so I mean the raid for sure, but yeah, I mean the Shattered Throne was what was never even something I knew was coming. And then when I
Hmm.
stepped in, I was like, "Hey, let's check this out." I've not really looked at it. I was like, "Oh my god." Yeah, I know
Hmm.
some of you guys out there are lower light level, can't get people to do it. Cute lad as well. You said if you don't have folks to do it, get to a high and left level. There is a triumph to solo that thing. Now, of course, you guys know eventually if it's not this coming week, which I still don't know if I'm going to be high enough. At some point, I'm going to get a guide for you guys to solo that thing.
Yeah.
But even if you can't solo all of it, there are 3 drops from it. And the first encounter, if you're high enough level, Oscar's like low level. Yes, I know. Once you're high enough, because like once you get far enough in there, especially to see the ogre, it's about 580. So I mean, it's not low level stuff. 570, 580. You're gonna want to be up there.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think what we did it at first. I think 545, maybe 550. We did the first encounter or two, and actually probably did okay.
Hmm.
Um, so, but no, that's even try it solo because if you're patient, you work through it. There's no time limit. There's no nothing. Step into that place and it's so much fun. It's I never saw it coming, and it's like an ascended challenge to like to the to the 10th level. It's so cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm
I agree.
fanboying over that one. But yeah, Shattered Throne was mine. I mean, the raid
Nice.
I expected to see coming, but to be completely blown away by the Shattered Throne, had no idea. So no, the minus definitely that.
Hmm.
And I
Absolutely.
think one of my dogs is on a walk because Enzo's back to doing his wolf howl. I can hear him in the background.
Salute Saladin's
Yep,
wolves
salute to
that
the
live with
wolves. Yep.
Ibontis.
Hold on, I'll let you guys hear it. Hold
Let
on.
me hear. Let me hear the Rise of Iron DLC. I, I heard something.
The door's open now. We'll see if he does it again.
See if he does it.
But yeah, so yeah, solo Nightfall with 100,000 score. I will work on that once I'm 600 power level because I'm gonna need all the point modifiers I can get on that one. But otherwise, guys, I think we're getting close to 2 hours, so I know we rambled on for these last little bit. But honestly, for you guys in chat, it's been awesome this morning. I know the more people following both of us, the better. If you guys are in my Twitch chat right now, go over to YouTube, click on Iron Lords podcast, hit subscribe. I want you guys to give them
Thank
some
you,
extra
bro.
this morning.
Oh, thank
Spread the
you.
word. Send them over.
Much
So if you guys
appreciate,
are
man.
on Twitch, do it right over there.
Likewise, man. All you guys that, like I said in the chat, on RP, please subscribe to Bontis. Tremendous content, tremendous and great guides, man. Very, very patient, very astute, very detailed. If you're trying to do something, I've been using them myself, man. It's in the solo runs, man. Because a lot of times, what's happening for me is I've been using you guys a lot, honestly, because a lot of times I don't have a very limited time, and I'm on Destiny probably when I shouldn't be. I'm like, I'm just so mad that I got real life stuff I got to do. So I'll be offline playing Destiny, and I'm like, all right, let me try soloing some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't, I don't want to bother people.
Everybody has those moments where you're like, not everybody's on. It's just me. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I should be sleeping, or it's lunch and I'm home. Like, not everybody's always on, and that's kind of one of the reasons. But yeah, if you guys want long-winded, detailed things, yeah, that's my way. I'm not going to be your short, succinct. I'm going to give you guys the run through, hopefully cover builds, but I try and go through as much as I think that will help you guys. Sometimes it may be long-winded, but most people who seem to jump in, I get the few downvotes, and honestly, that's just one of those that so is the internet. But most of you guys appreciate them, and if there's ever anything I can do to improve them, believe me, I read every comment. So
yes, he does.
Definitely leave one on there if there's anything I can do to improve. If you're like, hey, shorten this up, put it all on screen, go over it real quick, shut up and just do this. I mean, whatever it is. Some people just be like, stop talking. But generally, yeah. So I mean, thank you guys for both, but definitely share the love between both of these two sides. If you got anybody looking for just a gaming podcast, if they like Xbox in any way, shape, fashion, or form, it doesn't have to be Xbox, just gaming in general. All those guys over there, and King said it best, we're all gamers. We love games, and we have fun playing these things. So like fanboys aside, like the interviews they get, some of the, like the information you've got from like Matt Piscatella from the NPDs, and then back to the lawyers. And I haven't got to the one from what am I thinking of?
Which one?
The really detailed digital guys.
Oh, you got to get Digital
Foundry. Digital Foundry.
That was one of our.
That's like the next one that's going to be up on my. I've been catching up on all my podcasts, so that like I mean, come on. If you guys don't know in the world of technical stuff, those are the guys who break down like frame rates on games and how things. And they're very, very technical guys. It's like depends on your wants. Absolutely. So I mean, there's some awesome stuff on there. Definitely some always good content. But yeah, thank you guys all for both. Just the growth on this. We've had almost up to like 20 viewers in my Twitch chat for this thing. For me, that's good. Nice. That's awesome. It's been really cool. So
shout out to QD Lack in your chat. He's lit.
Dude, he's just in it this morning.
I like him.
Where are you from? He said English wasn't his first language, so I'm actually curious where he's from.
To him, man. He's been lit in the chat, making me laugh.
Yeah, Kronos just killing me with the deleting edge transits though. It's like favorite activity, just crossing another one of those off the list.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Trying to steal my little masterwork core from the spider every day.
Oh yeah, I gotta log in before I get off. You just remind me. I gotta get my core. I gotta get my core before I go to bed.
Get my 10 shot. Exactly. From Poland. It's very cool.
No.
Halfway across the ocean. So yep, I think that's where we'll wrap it up, guys. The land of Poe. But thank you guys. Been an awesome chat this morning. We love doing this, and we love the more you guys chat, the better these are. So thank you both on both sides. Cognito, you want to wrap your side up first?
Yeah, man. As you already know, please subscribe to both our channels. We already said that incessantly. This Sunday we will be Iron Law Podcast will return on the Tick Network. We will be live in the live chat. So make sure you are there. No guests this week. We're keeping it smooth, but we got a lot of great topics. Maybe a cameo here and there. We'll see. Maybe we get a cameo to come in.
We'll see.
Next week we'll have a very special one. I'll break that next flashpoint. We have a nice special one for fans of a specific game. So that should be cool.
Fans of a specific game. Way to give us specifics.
Don't you love it? Don't you love my detail? But yeah, we'll be on Football Sunday, the Inner Circle Network, 11 a.m. that we will start, and that is the Lord Sunday. Every Sunday is the Lord's Day. We'll have a good time. We'll talk about what's going on in the industry and all the latest topics between Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. It's fun. Come in the live chat, have some fun with us. It's great. And then also we have the stream team guys. Salute to Sonaldo, which I've seen in the chat. L Boogie, old school style. We're gonna be doing more things on the Iron Law Podcast channel, YouTube channel. We have original content there. Also a lot of interviews. E3, we go to shows, we go to PAX, we do all these things and try to give you guys exclusive content. And of course, the greatest two-man Destiny podcast you've ever heard. Of course, Flashpoint in the building with YouTube Gaming's own Lord Bontis. Solo Nightfallers. Solo Ascendant Challenge.
I still don't even know what to do with the YouTube gaming stuff, man. That is... Yeah, if you guys want to know what he's talking about, by the way, just go to trending, click on gaming, and I'm like 4 down.
Boom. Respect. Put respect on his name. He's
the only problem with that little shout out, especially as it's on the gaming page, that stuff is like 2 or 3 weeks old. One's from the 18th, one's from the 25th, it's Zerv from the 28th, so it's not current.
We're not going to besmirch the great name of Lord Fontes. This is monumental. I've seen this man grow from my first Guardian Con, and he's become greatness. You respect it. I'm proud of that. All jokes aside, very proud of you, bro.
Thank
you work very hard. Love what you do, and it's really an honor to do this show with you because we're both two nuts that love talking about Destiny. We can't stop talking.
Nuts starting this thing back in January like dumbasses, but that's all right. We made it this time, and now we got a good group. So remember us, little people, when you make it big.
Exactly.
No, you guys are awesome. So thank you guys very much. It's awesome. I think we'll wrap it up. You guys will find this one sometime over the weekend. I'll schedule it. So Saturday or Sunday, if you want to listen to it or share it with a friend. If somebody who likes Destiny and just kind of wants to know what's coming and what has been going on, let them know about it. So I'm still working on the audio piece. That will be eventual. Trust me. But other than that, guys, thank you very, very much. For me, you guys know where to find me. It's Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. It's Ebontis everywhere. Subscribe, follow, and send the love to both of these places we got out here. Iron Lords Podcast, Ebontis. Thank you guys. And I think that's where we'll wrap it up. Have a good one. See you guys soon. Awesome chats. Have a good one.